Previously, on Rise of the Runelords. With Dargast trapped in Geisen's force cage, the group quickly dispatched the remaining Deep Ones, leaving Dargast himself a sitting duck. Having run afoul of the Sandpoint Five, with a single stone, two birds were... a bird in the hand couldn't have flown the coop with a wing and a prayer. The group dispatched him quickly. With the jawsome creature out of the way, everyone soon realized that there was no way to bring Gendrick's uncle back from his ghastly demise. As Gendrick processed this tragic turn of events, the party's attention turned to the half-transformed fishman, who was no longer a polymorphed octopus, asking to be put out of his fishy misery. Tarnin quickly obliged, and the group made their way out of the water and back to Marigold. Finding Wendell and letting him know it was safe to leave his pickled hideaway, and taking some pickles for the road, our heroes began to make their way to Magnamar. Today, the adventure continues.
All right. In that case, we had left off with everybody approaching Magnamar on Dwayne. You have not arrived in the city proper yet, but you've been able to see like the Ears Spire and the spanning sprawl of the city as you approach from 20 miles away is when you can start to see it as of the Ear Span itself. And it is on you guys. What would you like to do?
I have to remember what I was doing.
I just said you were going to Magnamar for business.
Yeah, basically to get our last bit of loots. I think you were going to Tarnin was going to see if he had any contacts that could get us to where we need to go quickly.
I was gonna go check in with Granny and ask her the same thing, and play a song, update her on things.
And Lars did give me the scoop on what he wanted Geisen during this time as well. So,
is anyone else getting Sean cutting in and out audio?
Yep. Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
Let me. Let me try this. Is that better?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, do a monologue and then I'll let you know.
Tell us how great we are.
Y'all suck. No. Actually, I guess I can do this. Did everybody update their character, do the level up and all that good stuff? I don't think everybody has given me rolls. I'm trying to remember if everybody did or not. Did anybody not roll HP? I do not recall, and I am just talking to see if I'm cutting out or if this is better.
You're good so far.
Okay, good. I just turned up the gain on my microphone, so it's probably picking it up better. Cool.
I don't know if I rolled or not.
In that case, let me.
I feel like I did.
Let me double check. Oh, I think Geisen rolled. I see Grelda. I see Icky. Lee told me he updated it himself.
I think I...
Bill, did you do Tarnin's?
Yep. The only thing I didn't do is pick a spell for my Warlock slot. That's it.
Okay. Then, yeah, I think we're good on that.
Oh my god, you're a Warlock?
I mean... No! Why would you think that?
Would have been a surprise 4 years ago.
I mean, weird things happen around me. That's all. I mean,
Yeah.
look, Icky has feathers.
I very much recall the Tarnin. I don't actually cast spells. Warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yes, that's
really good
where we're at. You guys are on Dwayne, approaching Magnamar. I would say you have a good, 15, 20 minutes before you would hit the city proper on Dwayne. So if there's any chatter or any preparation you guys would want to do, I would say you have about 20 in-game minutes before you would need to either land in the city or land out.
Honestly, don't remember why. I know Tarnin had something he wanted to do in Magnamar for one of the party members, and I can't bring that to bear. Anyone?
Well, you've got some time to think about it.
You may be able to find it in some sort of recorded media somewhere.
Yeah, that means
Didn't actually post the session. Oh no, I did. I put the link in. Never mind. Yeah, I didn't do it like proper because I still don't have the previous John from the last session there, sir.
Yeah, I know you'll get that. I figured you'd probably want the one for this one instead.
If I just had to do one, this would probably be the better one to do. All right, but yes.
I think the spellcaster boys, we're gonna stock up on reagents.
Yes.
Reagents. Yes. I know that was on our to-do list. So
that was something to do with the rubies for guys.
Yeah, getting the stuff to do portals.
Was
I
it
think
rubies?
maybe.
I think it was rubies.
It was ruby dust.
I got a guy. I'm sure I got a guy. Whether we're still on talking terms, but I got a guy.
How much of a buddy is your guy?
Don't call me buddy, guy.
What do you need? What do you need there, friend?
Don't call me friend, buddy.
Just
Not your
wondering
buddy,
if you
guy.
might need a friend to go visit this buddy guy.
Sure. Not a problem. Yeah, you can bring one. I can bring one. We could go. I mean, I assumed that Geisen would be going if he's the one getting the ruby dust, but we can always have the whole party go. We don't even need to split the party. Why would we want to split the party? We should just have everyone go. Everyone could go.
Zelda has plans.
Icky just has nothing that he like. He'd hit a bar.
Absolutely. Come on.
Like if anybody else is like doing something, he'll tag along. Otherwise,
Otherwise, he just wants to go drink.
yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot. Maybe he'll find some place to get his claws buffed.
Might have a guy for that too.
All right, so what are you guys gonna do?
Wait till we land. I really want to land first.
Where would you like to land?
Yeah, I don't think we've taken Dwayne into the city before. I think we've always parked him a bit of a ways out and hiked in. I mean, always, one other time we've been here.
From what Tarnin remembers when he ran amok in the city, where was it usual for something flying? Because I'm sure ships, critters, winged mounts eventually were seen near the Ear Spire. Where
airship? I will say, like, airships are not a thing.
Oh. Okay.
So, I mean, there could be winged mounts, but they're not prevalent. It's not like a normal thing. Like, there's not a flock of Pegasi that the Crown's Guard used to patrol.
Okay. What kind of roll can I make for Tarnin to recall what would make most sense? Least panic.
An intelligence check? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the...
Wisdom's book smarts, intelligence is street smarts. So I'd say intelligence.
Okay. Not a saving throw.
Just a straight intelligence roll.
Whatever. 13.
13? Tarnin would know that Out of all the places you visited, Magnamar would have the largest presence of Crown's Guards. And if there was an unexpected large creature that touched down anywhere close to the city, they would mobilize in defense. So you would know that you would want Dwayne to be far enough away from the city so that they would either not see or not really be able to tell what he was when he landed.
Okay, I relay that to my feathered friend and suggest we land about a mile out.
We do it.
All right. So let me switch this. All right. So Dwayne lands. You find a fairly wooded area along the same lines as you found when you parked him away from Harse. Give him any instructions you would like to give him. And then it takes you parked a mile away. It takes you about 25 minutes to walk to Magnamar.
I'd just instruct him to lay low, and if anybody aside from us comes about to defend himself, but to just fly straight up until he's out of reach. And
all right,
continue to wait for us.
As you approach the same gate, Magnamar, that you entered the previous time you arrived, it is. What was that?
Last month.
Yeah, it has been less than a month since you've been to Magnamar, or like 2 years, depending on how you want to look at it, depending on which timeline you want to follow. So you notice there are 2 huge portcullises that seem to be directing the flow of traffic in and out. There is not as much traffic flowing in as there was last time. There is still a smattering of carts with goods, families moving, people on horseback, normal traffic in and out of the city, but it doesn't seem to be anything surprising. And as you approach, the Crown's Guards are in a group just outside of there seems to be an intake and an outward portcullis. So you follow the crowd. Crown's Guard is in a group of 6 or 7, and they seem to be just stopping everybody, just glancing in the carts, talking to people. And as you make your way on foot, one of them just raises his hand. He's an older gentleman. He's got gray hair, very tightly cropped on top, and he's got a wispy mustache that curls on the sides. And it's all gray facial hair. You see wrinkles. He's human male, right about 5'10", just looks weathered and a little tired. And he just holds up his hand and stops you. May I ask your business in Magnamar?
Yes, business. We have a few supplies to catch. Hopefully I'll have an appointment with Lord Ironbriar. I'm sorry, Justice Ironbriar. If that doesn't work out, well, then I've got another contact to take care of.
How long will your band be staying in Magnamar?
All goes as planned, 2 or 3 days.
And he just kind of looks over you, just nods to the Crown's Guard beside him, and they don't touch you or anything like that, but they fan out a little bit, look over all of you. All right, just I'd recommend you keep those weapons where they are as much as possible. And he just nods and kind of waves you past and moves his attention to the band behind you.
Carry forward.
All right, so you are now in Magnamar proper. How do you guys want to handle this? Are you all going to the same place? Are you splitting up? What are we doing?
I'm going to Granny's, guys. Want to meet there whenever your shit's done?
Sure, sounds good.
Kendrick says, "Do you have family in town?"
Yeah, Gendrick was not here the last time you guys were here, so he has no idea what anybody's talking about.
Adopted
Also in
family.
real life.
She taught me how to play an instrument and turned me into a bard. She's a very lovely lady, and she makes delicious buns, sweet buns, if I remember correctly.
Blood
Yes, I
sausage,
do.
too.
Yes, it was the blood sausage.
And oh yes, the blood sausage. Ooh, the blood sausage.
Granny the mentor.
She's a wonderful lady.
Okay, so Sanishi is going to the Cambion Cafe. I guess we'll just go through. Icky, where are you headed? Or who are you headed with, should say.
Icky would probably head around with Tarnin unless Grelda or Gendrick or Geisen made a move to go to a tavern specifically.
Gendrick would probably just start hitting up various shops for a shaving of this piece of metal and a sprinkle of this type of dust and things like that. So it's nothing too rare, but just a lot of smaller shops like a alchemy type place, like a forge, like some, metal filings, things like that. I'm not sure exactly what Geisen's looking for, but
Geisen is very focused on getting his 1,500 gold worth of ruby dust. He has about 1,200 gold, so he would need a little extra, but he is very focused on getting that. And then he does make it very clear that once he gets that, he will need some time alone, probably 12 to 24 hours away from the group by himself.
Okay, so we should probably, like you said, I think you mentioned a tavern. We're probably going to stay for like a day or two to sort out our business, right? And then, we'll probably get set up first rather than just meander into the city, I guess.
Well, before you do that, then, let me go see if we can talk to our friend, Justice Ironbriar. I'm sure I'll have to give him a full report, so you're going to have to stand around for an hour or corroborate the story. And we'll see how helpful he wants to be in us continuing our mission. It may even come with a small reward for doing as much as we have so far. I'm not really expecting it, but he surprised me before.
Okay, so I know Geisen will basically stick with Tarnin and the majority of the group until he gets what he needs. He'll just kind of be tagging along in the background with you guys.
Grelda will give him 400 gold. Does someone have his character sheet to that?
I do. He needs 300 total more.
I know, but I don't want him to be broke at the end, so.
Okay, so you're giving him 4, so he'll have 1,600. So if Grelda just hands Geisen the gold he needs, he will actually he will have it as soon as he gets the ruby dust. He's out. Mark down.
We need to know what hotel we're staying at so we can meet up. Otherwise, he may have difficulty finding us.
Well, right now I'm hoping that Lord Ironbriar will put us up somewhere quiet and free. But I got to go talk to him for that. And we've already told Sanishi, points to her off in the distance, that we'll meet her at Granny's for supper-ish.
I would say we'll call it, I don't remember. We'll call it 10 in the morning right now. I want to say that's around the time I had figured, but I don't recall exactly. So,
of course, you're all free to find other lodging if you want. I'm just going to give it a shot and see if we can get something.
All right. So, anybody going with Sanishi? No? Okay. Is anybody not going with Tarnin and Icky and Geisen?
I think if Grelda needs to know where everybody's staying the night, so she'll stay until she knows that.
Okay. All right, so Nishi goes off. Jill, we will play yours once we get the rest of it figured out. So,
I think Gendrick probably has a backpack full of like pieces of metal and stuff, so he's probably keen to go into the booking a hotel crew.
Okay.
Grelda. Yeah.
Yeah, I just figured. Okay, so Sanishi is heading off to the Cambion Cafe, and everybody else is following Tarnin.
How far is it to Ironbriar's place from here?
From the entrance, I would say. Hold on, actually, let me change the map. Stand by. All right, so there we go. You all entered
there
through up here. And the halls of justice, if I remember correctly, which I do, were right here. So maybe a 10-minute walk with the foot traffic.
Sounds good. Then I won't bother to flag down a cart or something and just walk on. Do I happen to see a page boy or anyone else in that kind of livery?
Give me a perception check.
Certainly. Your perception starts with a P. Oh, for the love of fuck! Yep, I'm back in Magnamar.
You don't notice anything like that. You don't notice anybody that would be considered a page boy or anything like that. Not close. You do see a couple of young boys in the distance, like running down the road, and they turn into a side road, and you can tell from your time in Magnamar that these are usually message carriers, but none of them approach you. They all seem to have a destination in mind and are very, very focused on getting there. So
Probably Icky scaring them off.
all right, so as you do approach the halls of justice, it is as you recall from last time, which I will tell you in just a moment when I turn to the appropriate page. It is... what the hell ever. I thought I had it. It is just a large building. It's about 3 stories tall. It's got columns in the front. It is easily the fanciest building I've come across since you have been in Magnamar. And it's got 3 sets of large marble double doors, the middle set being open right now. And as you go up a flight of steps into the building proper, you see that the entrance hall is easily 150 feet long, 75, 80 feet wide, and there's just open space all the way to the end. Right directly in front of you as you enter, you do see 3 raised dais where there is a desk up raised even higher, and there is an elderly man on top of each one. And as people enter, they seem to pick a line, wait for their time, speak with the man, and then a small page boy comes and gathers a message. So as you wait, you see the shortest line. There's 1 or 2 people in front of you. It takes 5 minutes for everybody to make their way out. And as you approach, that's better. As you approach a just very elderly man with his white hair pulled back into a tight bun on the back of his head, his long hooked nose and chin. He just looks down at Tarnan, looks over all of you. And what might be your business here today?
That's not Ironbriar, though, is it?
Oh, no. Ironbriar, you had to request him. He was back in his office.
Yep. I am requesting a meeting with Justice Ironbriar.
And you
give me
be...
Tarnan Kepsgood and company.
And he's jotting something down on a little piece of paper. And what might be the nature of your visit?
An update on the report for the quest he gave us.
Yes, quite. All right. If you will stand back, we will see if he will see you. And then he rolls up a little parchment, hands it to a small halfling boy next to him, who just turns around and sprints off.
Can I give like a perception or not a perception, a persuasion roll to make our case seem a little more important and a little more legit?
You absolutely can. You can give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Oh shit! Come on. That's okay.
Well, 25.
Yes.
So as he's looking down at you, he looks at everybody. Yes, I suppose you do look like you've been through some
trials,
harrowing adventures, as is obvious by your look.
State of repair.
We'll see if he will see you now. And then he does hand the paper to the small halfling boy and runs off. And you can see that he seems to be eyeing you up a little bit more than he was when you initially arrived. He seems to, respect is not the right word, but paying a little more attention to you than he did before and than he has to some of the other patrons who have come up. You step to the side. It takes probably a good 5 minutes. And then the halfling boy comes back with a little piece of paper, reaches it up to him. He opens it. It seems that Justice Ironbriar has been expecting you for weeks. And he cracks a little smile. He was surprised it took so long. Please, follow little bastard here. And then just the halfling boy kind of nods his head to you and motions you to follow him.
Sounds good. Follow
him. As he takes you down the long, open room that makes up the majority of this area, you do notice, again, as you did before, on the floor is just a large carved-in map of Varisia. It's extremely detailed, and it is huge. It takes up the majority of the walking space. And on both sides are just doors of offices on 3 different levels. And when you glance up, you just see the pantheon of gods kind of painted onto the ceiling. Yes?
Is it more detailed than the map that we already have?
It looks to be a larger version of it. I would not say it's more detailed.
Okay.
You don't notice any towns or anything, but you're also following him. It's 80 feet wide and maybe because of the entrance, it's probably like 100 feet long. So if you wanted to take the time to compare your map to it, you would need to walk around. From what you've seen, it doesn't seem to hold anything that you're not aware of, but that is just with your path, like right down the middle of it. All right, so little bastard.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard too.
Wow. Okay, I need to move this closer to my face. I said bastion, actually, but little bastard totally works too. All right. Yes, I will move a little closer to the mic.
I absolutely heard little bastard, and I thought that like dude was just like the biggest prick in the entire world.
Honestly, with the way that I've been playing him, that would probably fit really well. So I might just stick with that. Called him a little bastard. All right. So as he takes you to the end of the hall, it's up a flight of stairs, and then he directs you to a large oaken door. And he kind of nods his head down, points to the door. The door is just propped open a little bit, 3 or 4 inches. And you can just hear like one voice inside. And then the boy kind of bows, backs away, and then turns around and goes back the way he came.
Okay. I knock politely, wait 1 second, walk in, and do a subtle but respectable bow.
All right. So you do see Justice Ironbriar leaning down over his very large desk with just papers and maps strewn around it. And he lifts his head. And I think the last time you came by yourself, so I think this is actually the first time that anybody else has.
Oh no, many of us were there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most.
I remember the echoing hallway and something where we did shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
I am. All right. Then in that case, for Gendrick, I believe Gendrick wasn't there last time. He is in his late 40s. He's a half elf. When he does stand up from leaning over the desk, he is probably 6'2", 6'3". He stands very, very straight, holds himself very proper. He's got long, very straight gray hair that goes all the way down, halfway down his back. Has a set of dark blue robes on and just nods as he sees everybody come. Well, I will admit, with as long as it's been, I did not expect you back here.
Forgive our state of disrepair. There was quite a bit of activity. We felt it necessary to push forward and come back when we could.
Grelda, I heard you say something too.
Yeah, just a quick history check, actual like lore of this game. The weak dude that we saved from the torture that he was under back, like way back when we were actually doing Ironbriar asked us to do, didn't we send him to talk to Ironbriar and like give an update? Okay, Sinishi's nodding. Yes.
Yeah. The one guy we saved from the keep.
Yes. Yes, but that was after you. Did you send him there, or did he come to Magnamar or come to Sandpoint with you?
No, he was supposed to go to Magnamar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get on the bird with us.
Okay. I'm getting the times down in my head. Okay.
What, it's only one world. Come on, Sean. Just one world. All you got to do is keep track of one world.
One world and something that happened 2 years ago. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Now, Tarnan says that, and Ironbriar just kind of looks at all of you. Well, with the snippets of information I have gotten, I would assume you've been busy. I'm just not used to people completing quests for me and not returning for their reward. It surprised me.
If you'll allow me, I would say 20 to 30 minutes of your time, I'll catch you up on why we were away so long and why we felt it was more prudent, more important for us to be away.
The last story you told me was quite interesting indeed, so please entertain me.
Are there other chairs in the room?
On the other side of his desk, there are 3 very plush leather chairs, and then on each side of the wall, on the sides of the walls to your left and right up against the wall that the door is on, there are 2 large couches. So yes, there would be enough room for everybody to sit in various locations.
Tarnan does a flourish and sits down.
But before you start talking, would Sinishi feel triggered by the words "entertain me" and the promise of the tale of their adventures?
No, but I'm also not with them. I'm not with you guys.
No.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I mean, if I had been there, I would probably be busting out a song right about now. But I'm not.
I've got one about a whale. I've got one about... No.
I already played him the whale one.
I think actually Tarnan would probably say something to the effect of, how about some soft background music? Because you know what the story is, so you could probably predict what I'm going to say next and make it a beautiful, flowing tale.
She's not there.
Opportunity missed. All right. Damn. Okay. So...
You don't have to go through everything if you don't.
Tarnan begins telling the story and motions to the others to join in whenever they feel like they need to bring up a detail or a point of view that Tarnan didn't see, to give the entire, from the last time that they were in Ironbriar's office, skipping, well, next to nothing if he looks like he's not bored.
Why doesn't Tarnan give me a performance check? Since you are telling a story, counting adventures while trying to keep him interested. You're just telling the story. You are trying to keep him in. What was that?
Can I do persuasion? Persuade him that this was important? Or can I get assistance?
I would say if others are going to help you tell the story, you could get help on the performance check.
Icky will absolutely help tell the story,
Okay,
and maybe give it some interpretive dance flair.
Did the difficulty just increase, Sean?
I think so.
Okay, so that's 1. Since you have help, you can do it with advantage.
Like a kabuki theater thing.
You got your gust of wind magic too, so you can flutter the papers on his desk.
Do I get a plus? I'll use my.
No, you get advantage. That's all you get.
Damn it. Nate, do you want to roll or should I?
What am I
The second
rolling?
one?
A performance check. Either Bill can do it with advantage or nope. An 8. So 16. All right. So he does. So he when you begin talking about the black arrows and the actual part of the quest that he had sent you on, he seems very interested. As you continue down the line after that, the things that had happened, and especially when you get to the village of Marigold, he still seems interested, but you can tell that he seems to a little straighter and back away. Not necessarily disinterested, just quizzical.
Tarnan will pause and say, "You have a question, my lord."
Not a question so much, just... It's quite a tale, you must admit.
You need proof?
I'm not saying you didn't kill a beast and fight some wizards. It's just... You would be surprised how many times we are told that it's the end of the world around here. So you'll forgive me if I am doubtful. But I do know what you have done for me, and I do know that I owe you all the other half of your payment for looking into the black arrows at Fort Rannick. And then he just kind of, I see all your expressions. He's like, unless you don't want it, I don't need to give it to you if you're not interested.
No, actually, I was hoping we could get a bit more, considering what we've been through. Not so much because of what we've been through, but because of what we're hoping to accomplish further, whether it's on your behalf or just the behalf of all of Varissia.
Well, I am sure that Varissia proper would appreciate any doomsday scenario to be stopped. We agreed on a price. You completed your mission. And I'm sure the village of Marigold could pull together some funds to help you with that. But I will give you what we agreed upon and wish you luck.
Trying to try to do a persuasion check about how sincere and how serious this is. Or is it just kind of done after the story?
I will say you can do a persuasion check.
Okay. 22.
You do see that his shoulders kind of slump a little bit, and he just leans forward and puts his hand on the desk. I appreciate that you think the world is in danger, but as I've said, we lot of end of the world requests and troops and crowns guards, equipment. I can't give one who thinks they're trying to save the world what they ask for. If you are, then I wish you well on your quest. But I can't spare troops. I can't spare gold. I can't spare equipment. And I'm sorry, we just don't have...
You broke up, Chunk. Did you say that last part again?
Sorry. I can't spare troops. I can't spare equipment. I can't spare gold. We've got a city to run. And as I've said, you're not the first people this month that have come requesting Crown's Guard to stop the world from ending because somebody is summoning something and everybody thinks that they're trying to save the world and be a hero. So I appreciate that you have things you need to do, but even if I thought the world was going to end or we were going to be conquered, I don't have the Crown's Guard or the money to spare. I can give you what I owe you, but that would be it.
It's a start.
Well, and then he reaches down into the drawer beside him, and let me see, because public math is hard. 755. He gives you 3,750 gold pieces.
3,700.
And he hands 750 each for the 5 of you.
All right, one more time.
3,750 gold, which was 7. You agreed on 1,500 apiece.
Yep.
And he paid you half up front.
So everyone gets 750 apiece, except for Gendrick. Everyone gets 700 apiece. Gendrick gets 50 times. How many of us?
5 of you were paid.
Okay.
And then, so as he slides the gold over, I believe and sincerely hope that you're wrong, and that you're just ridding the world of a evil man. But
Just to the party, Bill to the players. Turner's going to hand out like 700 to everybody, and Gendrick's going to get 250, and say, "Is that good for now?" To Gendrick.
That will certainly fund my reagent fund. So yes, that's perfectly fine. Thank you.
All right, cool. If you need any more, let me know. We'll figure it out. I trust. Looking at the rest of the group, I trust this will cover everyone else's expenses here. Look to
Icky has not learned the value of money in a month. He still just doesn't quite get currency, so he's just he's
would you
cool.
like me to hold it for you?
No, I'm fine. I mean, like, clearly
Okay.
it's important to hold on to. I understand that these are
Used to trade for things, yeah.
Yeah, I got all these healing potions for some of these shinies before, so like, no, I'll hold on to them.
Does that 700 help Dyson finish what he needs?
Actually, Grelda had already given Geisen what he needed, so he has the money. He just needs to get the ruby dust.
Tarn wants to make sure he's got enough funds for what he needs, and now
He does.
the next part is to go find the guy.
Yes.
Tarn will turn back to Lord Ironbriar and say, "No troops, no money, no support. Would you at least put us up into a decent inn to clean and rest for a day or two before we leave? 2 nights."
If I had not already put you up for free in inns before your quest, I might. But I already paid for a week for 5 people's rooms before you left. And that was not in our agreement that you requested it after. And I am a man of my word, but I have other things that require our funds. So I thank you again, and I will happily call on you if we have another quest for you to fulfill. But for now, I believe our business is at an end.
Very well. Good night. No, good day.
Have a pleasant stay in our fair city.
On the way out, Icky does the water drive. But like 7.5.
And he doesn't bat an eye because there are, in fact, 5 of you.
In this moment,
That's a good point. Yeah.
Moment, there are actually 5 of you. So he just kind of his eyes move over you, and he just then looks back down at his stuff.
Well, walking down the hall on the way out, Tarnan says, "Well, that was disappointing. Seem to have lost my touch." Or are we just overblowing things and this really just doesn't matter?
No response.
Clearly not. All right, so Tarnan's gonna think of the nearest.
Are you just trying to acquire the ruby dust?
Yep.
Okay, we don't, unless you have something else you want to do, we don't need to roleplay that. We don't need to roleplay all the shopping.
No, just Tarnan's trying to go to the guy he thinks he can get the best deal from, do a persuasion or intimidation if it's the right person. And
I will say that there is somebody, considering where you are in Magnamar, you are in the nicer part of town, so you'd probably need to go to the less nice part of town for what you're looking for. I would say it's a 20 to 30 minute walk on foot. You do know someone, and for 1,500 of ruby dust, they will ask 1,750 because of the labor to grind it.
okay, so Geisen pays the 1,500. I pay the 250 after that.
Okay. Then Geisen gets a very large, especially for him, and heavy sack of ruby dust. And sorry, everybody, wait just a minute. I should have looked at this before. Never mind. I was going to look up how much ruby dust would actually weigh, just to wonder how much Geisen would be carrying. But he's just got a large, throws it over his shoulder. It's a fairly decent sized sack of ruby dust for him. And he just asks, where are we going to stay? Because he needs a private space that he can do what he needs to do.
Where's the most secure inn near us? Or not necessarily near us? The one that Tarnan never got a chance to break into.
There was. I could have sworn I had this. There actually, I believe the place you stayed at last time was right across the street from the Cambion Cafe.
It's pretty close to it, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I drop that hotel name and watch the rest of the party scatter to the winds.
All right. I know at least Geisen will be following you to the actual inn itself because he just wants a room and to go up. Is anybody else going to separate before the rooms are officially acquired to go do anything else?
Geraldo will. She'll just go off to do her own thing.
Gendrick's gonna drop off whatever assorted bits of WD-41 he has in his backpack before going shopping.
Okay.
Icky doesn't have anything to do. He'd offer assistance to anybody who wanted it. Otherwise, he'd probably just go and make himself comfy at the nearest watering hole to where we're staying.
That would probably be the Cambion Cafe, actually.
All right, then.
Right across the street. All right, so I will say then, Tarnan, for the rooms, do you want everybody to have their own room? Just for the cost of
Wow,
everything.
it's been a long time. I don't know the last time we actually had rooms. Did they always? Did we always have separate rooms?
You have always had separate rooms. You have never shared rooms.
Okay,
you
they all have separate rooms.
either got them comped for various reasons, or you have paid for separate rooms.
Separate rooms.
All right. So 6 separate rooms. That is going at this place, which is
Talking them down. Group rate.
Actually, Sean, would bathing be something that would be done at this inn, or would it be done at a different facility?
It would definitely be done at this inn. This inn,
Okay.
you guys did this last time too. It does have a
Pretty sure this is the last time
bathroom.
we had a bath.
Okay, because then Grelda will wait and have a bath before she heads
That's
out.
at the Rusty Dragon in Sandpoint. Not saying it hasn't been a hot minute, but
We can't get a group rate. Could we get some tokens for the baths or something, maybe?
He brings that up, and Tarnan will make it happen. Well, attempt to make it happen.
hold on. I'm trying to find my sheet on what the rates are. I had it.
I'm
here.
willing to join the rewards program as well.
See, I've got 4,500 points from the last time we stayed here. 5 rooms. How many nights do you want them for? We'll do that.
Do they give us a deal for 2 nights?
They say 6 rooms for 2 nights would be a total of 4 gold.
Done. Baths included?
No, how many baths do you want? 1 for everybody?
Yes.
2 apiece, as bad as we smell.
All right. That would be an extra. That would be 6 silver. 1 silver a bath.
Gold and call it good. It's 5 gold total then.
5 gold total for 2 nights.
Got it.
It's not an upscale place, but it is a relatively nice place. And all of the rooms do have like deadbolt locks on the inside, which is what you're paying extra for. All right, then Geisen does kind of nod to everybody, goes in his room. You hear the deadbolt slam. Before he heads out, he says that he'll see you all in a day. And he just disappears.
Am I remembering things wrong, or do we still have those talking stones or something to that effect?
No, it wasn't one of those given away for some charitable reason.
Yes, you gave one to somebody else if they ever needed call you.
Right.
Yeah.
You still have paper birds,
Nah.
a couple of them, but not those sending stones.
Does Geisen have a paper bird?
Let me check Geisen's character sheet.
If he's got one, then we're good. I just want him to have a way to contact one of us while he's alone in his room.
Inventory.
Is it a cantrip message? Or is it, I think, isn't there one of those?
Yeah, but it's 120 feet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I do not see Paperbird anywhere on Geisen's. I know you guys used almost all of your Paperbirds. Do not know how many you have left. I know you're not completely out, but you have been using them and handing them to people very freely. Which isn't a bad thing, but I know you're running low.
Like paper candy.
Like candy.
I don't have one on mine either.
Yeah, Icky doesn't have one.
Inventory, possessions.
Doesn't anyone have any more missiles?
Yeah,
All right,
I feel like we
so-
either used them or maybe Grelda's got one.
I just double checked. I don't have any left.
No, I think you guys have used them all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're out.
I mean, come on. You guys have had those for like 3.5 years. So I'm not surprised you finally
It's been
used them
3
all.
weeks, Sean. It's been
month.
3 weeks.
So yes, you are out of paper birds, and that is exactly what you did.
Yeah, I just checked. Neither Geisner and I have sending, which is the 3rd level
That's what it was. Yeah.
infinite range
So,
version.
yeah,
of
that
it.
you can do from anywhere.
Yeah, we don't have that.
They're on the same plane of existence, I believe. All right, so Geisen says farewell and says you in 24 hours.
Be safe.
So we will now take a step back to Sanishi, who, before all of this, heads directly to the Cambion Cafe Sanishi, as you walk in, you see that it is, with as early as it is, there is actually a decent amount of customers because the muffins and blood sausage are quite popular. So there is probably 20 patrons altogether. And the only person you see working is that young boy in his mid-teens, and sweat is just dripping down his face as he is running between tables and from the back and in. And he is just going nuts.
Well then. Well, look, I'm going to look around, to see that it's pretty busy and just kind of move over into a corner and start plucking out a little background tune. And
you do notice, like, from the last time you were here, there is a small, like, stage area. It is enough for a single stool on that. It's probably like 5 by 5. It's in the corner, but it is where you did see Mirabelle Cambion performing last time, and it is empty.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, now I'm just going to go up there and just start quietly picking out a tune. Just nice background music for ambiance.
Performance check, Sanishi.
Oh, God.
And I will not give you advantage because you're nervous. Oh,
19.
Nice. So what are you playing? Either the type of song, the name, like whatever you want. What are you playing?
Just kind of general happy, plucky, not quite elevator style music, because better than that. For a level 3 bard.
Background music?
Yeah.
Sorry, now I hear elevator music.
Just, happy little waterfalls and plucky.
As you go into it, it takes a couple of minutes, but you do notice over half of the patrons, their heads start to nod, like with the melody. They're not like staring at you or anything. They're all still engaged in eating or their conversations, but you can tell that your music is having an effect. Perfect. And after about 15, 20 minutes of you playing, you do see the doors to the kitchen open, and this elderly woman comes out, and her eyes just lock on yours, and you immediately see like the wrinkles in her face as her lips curl up into a smile, and just over the low thrum of conversation that's happening and you're playing, she just says really loud, "I knew you would be talented." Just like loud, it echoes off the walls, and everybody immediately stops talking as they look at her.
I just give her a big grin and just, kind of keep plucking and just, couldn't have done it without you, Granny. Like, this has been wonderful.
Her bony, gnarled finger is like pointed at you, and she looks at all the other patrons. "You should be listening to this instead of yakking your like letting your gums flap." And then she just kind of sits down behind the bar and crosses her arms, leans back.
I just want to create a wonderful atmosphere for this amazing cooking. Back to playing. And the event, at some point, I'll, stop and talk to Granny, catch her up on what we've been up to, play up the flood story a bit, because that's super exciting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all of it's been super exciting. So
she leans over. "So this whale song that you mentioned, would you play it for us here in a minute?"
Oh, yes. I just want to make sure people's stomachs have some time to settle before they hear this.
Adults, they'll be fine. If they can't handle it, they can go.
All right. I'm going to sing my whale song. Not in real life, though. Sorry.
Aww.
You guys can imagine it. I've done it. I did it once, and I believe I told you that was going to be it.
Yes, but it is recorded, so we can listen to it.
I was going to say, hey, don't you have that on Play Instant? Just click the button. It's not on your phone?
Thankfully, no. No, don't give him ideas.
His ringtone.
Oh.
Yeah, she made me play it, like her most recent song on the automaton as soon as I got it.
Nice.
True, actually. It's actually true.
All right, so let me see. Gendrick, you were going out to purchase stuff, and then Grelda, you were going out to purchase stuff. I already talked over with Tammy what she was going to purchase. Gendrick, what are you looking to buy? Just like you said, just random scraps, or is there anything in particular?
Things like mica, rock chips, sulfur, iron filings, some things like that you could probably find around town. The most unique thing I'm looking for is licorice root, which it's not like I'm looking for the eye of a salamander or anything. So I'm probably looking around at like alchemical or like, I don't know, spice shops, things like that. I don't know.
Is there a particular amount of these things you're looking for? Like you need
a small amounts, actually.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Fairly small amounts. A small bag. I
would say you were able to get the small bags of each of those for. If you're only looking for small amounts, it'll probably take you, I'd say, 2 hours of walking and asking people and finding out. And say 4 gold altogether, because it's not easily acquired stuff, but it's not anything too crazy either.
Yeah, I'm just double checking my list. Bat guano is also on the list. So again, maybe kind of hard to find, but not, super expensive, I would think.
Just add like a gold to it. We'll say 5 altogether then.
Okay. I'm just double checking through my list just because I don't want to.
Yes, just remember, if there's a spell that specifically says it requires so much gold worth of an item, you need to procure it ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. A stick of butter. I'm gonna get some of that. Let's see what else.
That is 6 right there. Cows are just in big demand.
Butter? Yeah, never heard of it.
Nope. What is that?
A small loop of leather. Yeah, no. Like
So we'll say with 5 gold you were able to acquire all
it's
looking for.
It's mostly small things like that. Okay, sounds good. I don't need any like diamond dust or anything like that. So okay.
Could Gendrick roll a perception check for me?
Ooh.
Sure. My whole +0 on that. Oh, it was almost a 5, but it's a 13.
Oh, dang it. Okay. So once or twice, especially when you're in the area where you get the licorice root, you do see Grelda or someone that might be Grelda popping in and out of shops. And if she notices you, she like very poorly, you didn't have to roll very high to win this. She's clearly trying not to be seen by you.
Okay. I'll probably like give a glance, but then just kind of be like, and just kind of go about to my next kind of specialty shop in my list of random bits of guano and this, that, and the other thing that I'm procuring today.
Cool.
Then I would say with Grelda and Gendrick doing their thing, everybody would probably pop back to the Gaming Cafe at say like 1 in the afternoon, say a total of 3 hours for everybody to get their stuff done. And that is when you guys kind of get back together at the Gaming Cafe minus Geisen. And that is a good spot to take a quick like 5-10 minute break. And Geisen end up going No, I would say like, because this would be, you would be done with your shopping by now. So
but I
guess
still have preparation to do.
Okay.
So she's Grelda's back in the hotel.
Yes. So in that case, Icky and Gendrick show up at the Gaming Cafe approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Unless there is something else that you gentlemen would like to do. And as you both enter, Gendrick, you hear Sinishi singing about Icky ripping the throat out of a dragon. You come in at that point. And you see that there is about 20 patrons, and they all seem to be enraptured and just staring at Sinishi as she plays her flute and sings a song of a dragon dying at the hands of an Arakokra.
Gendrick's probably going to be a little tired from the journey, he's just gonna throw his multiple shopping bags of crap in his room, come back down, throw a silver at the bar for a drink, and just kind of sit down and chill out and watch and listen and not do much else.
Icky will similarly perch up at the bar. And if any patrons happen to make the connection of the song being sung and the feathery fellow that has now found himself at the bar, he will simply wink, nod, and sip his ale.
Maybe bob along to the music a little.
Oh, absolutely.
I will say nobody makes the connection, but people like they look at you and they see an Aarakocra and they just kind of like their eyes go wide and they point a little bit and then point at Sanishi and then point at you and then go back to listening to the song. Nobody really puts two and two together that you are the point of the song. They just think it's super awesome that you happen to walk in while she's singing about an Aarakocra.
When I finish the song, I'm going to take my bow, step off stage, and make it very obvious that I know Icky. You know, just for showmanship.
So, is there anything else? I guess, like, what are you guys looking to accomplish in the rest of the evening? I know everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Is there a time you all want to meet up together? Is there anything else anybody wants to do before you go to bed?
I mean, like, I'd like to, like, before we go to bed, like to get folks together and kind of like chat about the game plan of how we're going to get where we're going, because we know where we're going and what we're doing. Gonna go fuck up Dragon Guy, because we got to get past him to take out the machine, which is what we got to take out Kurzog. So yeah, like talking about that plan is all Icky really has on his mind.
Outside of Dyson, who probably will not be leaving his room, I don't know where everybody else is going to be as the night progresses. So you all would need to chime in with what your plans are towards the end of the evening.
I don't really have any plans. This is it. When the cafe shuts down, I'll move on to wherever we're spending the night and probably start playing there again, because why not?
So about 7 hours after everyone kind of split up and did their own thing, Tarnan shows up at Granny's place, the Kame Cafe, and comes over to Sanishi and gives her a key. Said, "This is your room at the
All the way in.
all the way in."
Oh, seriously?
Did you
Yes,
want me to do it all the way out?
Require other forms of entertainment if you so desired.
Yeah, I'd say they must charge by the hour.
Do you have it for 2 nights?
All right, so then Sanishi has her room key. And like I said, I would say, Icky, what time of night are you trying to gather everybody at?
I mean, like, so we know that it's like Geison's just gonna be doing his own thing. Probably like 8 or 9, like before anybody, like, before he knows, like, the earliest to better would be looking to turn in.
We'll say 9 o'clock at night then for that you're trying to gather everybody.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I know Geisen is unavailable. Is there anybody else who would be difficult for Icky to find at that time?
No. Once I'm done, once I give her her key, Tarnan will probably go back and sit at the bar at the all the way in and have a bourbon or something similar.
If he knocked on Grilda's door, she would probably shout out, "I'm busy. See you tomorrow."
Okay. I have a good night.
Good night. And she sounds like a little stressed out.
All right, then everybody outside of Geisen and Grelda is able to congregate at the Camming Cafe for this particular conversation.
All right, so do we have any right ideas about how we can get ourselves back to Xin-Shalast with expedience?
So yeah, weren't we? Because we came here to get the ruby dust, so we could take a portal either straight to so that we could go to the town with the portal rooms and then use that space portal to get our asses to Xin-Shalast, where we then go up the stairs and.
Oh, was that the plan? I thought that
Yes.
Geisen was getting his stuff to replenish the what he had spent on using that force cage on the street shark that was underwater.
Possibly that as well. But I'm pretty sure that like the mass amount of ruby dust we needed was for the transportation spell. And we needed the anchor point to make that possible for some magic reason. I don't know, man. I toot a flute and swing a sword.
Yeah, I don't use components. I just say, "Oh shit, I need one of these," and my patron hands it to me. I mean,
Yeah, evocation's not really my thing, so not sure what he's doing there. At least not that kind of evocation.
But I'm pretty sure our plan is reliant on our little dude.
Yep.
Transporting us.
If he needs
Hopefully
more
he's
time,
prepped.
if he needs more time, we just stay here. That's why I got the rooms for 2 nights, figuring let him do his thing, let him de-stress, and then he'll tell us when he's ready, and we'll go save the world.
Well,
I paid attention and got it, Captain. Aren't you proud of me?
You did. I am. I was actually very happy, very pleased, very proud that you got all of that correctly right away and actually reminded me.
I'm going to toot out a little pride ditty. It's like, do-do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do.
Does anyone remember, as I search my mental notes and not my actual notes, I swear, the dragon that we encountered, I know we did some evaluation about what type it was, because there are different types of dragons, so they say. I know you all have some experience with them, but I'm trying to remember if there was any tactical advantage we can glean from our past experience.
Yeah, so I'm less concerned about how we're going to get there and than I am how we're going to deal with Sir Meets-a-Lot up in that cavern.
How did you do it last time? Were you enclosed in a large room like this dragon is in, or were you out in the field, or how did that go?
Actually, yeah, we were in a small room. We were in a cave, and then it was a baby dragon.
It was like the kind of a volcanic base, and it flew out of the lip at the top and flew after it and gave it the ochre claw, took it down.
I was just there to help.
He made me fast.
Yeah, I made him fast. Geisen made her big and hairy.
Not hairy, I'm just green.
You're definitely brown then. And hairy.
That's
but your
true.
tusks were much bigger.
That is factually correct.
It was fun. It was a stamping good time.
Yeah.
Camping good time. So, no, that doesn't. I was going to name that the episode title, but that doesn't really make sense.
So what's our schedule? I think we're due another night. Are we going to head out in the morning after then? For Harse?
As long as Geison's ready, yes.
He really just said he needed until tomorrow.
Well, like I said, I would like to give him one day to do whatever he needs to do. You know, we've been going nonstop for a long time, and I'm quite sure that Grelda's busy doing stuff, and she's not in a rush to get back on doing. And if we can just take one day and enjoy the world that we're about to go get our asses beat for, let's do that.
All right.
I was in an isolated fishing hut for approximately 13 months, so it's nice having a a moment to rest after a few weeks of travel. Days, weeks, whatever.
Days for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've only no, because of the time it took to get to Marigold. It has been, I think you've been with the group for probably a hair under 2 weeks at this point. Probably like 10.
Okay. Yeah, and it's like extreme boredom and travel times, like mixed with extreme like stress of combat. So that's probably rough.
It's military. Hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Sounds like life.
Yep.
All right. Well, Mickey, does that settle your nerves at all, or?
Yeah, I'm glad we had it more in hand than I understood.
But I mean,
No, my nerves aren't settled. How are we gonna take out a full-grown dragon?
out of
'cause
character. What flavor of dragon was this again? From what we know.
I want to say it was a black dragon, but it's
That's
been
what I thought, too.
indicated. I can't find it in my notes. I'm still
Yeah,
looking.
I thought it was too. But I wasn't sure.
In your notes, I'm not going to tell you. No, it was a black dragon.
But it's also been indicated, I want to say, that there's a way other than fighting to get around him. And I mean, being a mammoth and stamping like that fire dragon, running at it was a lot of fun. But like, I am not convinced that's going to fly with meat bags.
Well, we do have another day. I was planning on just chilling, but maybe I'll do some research at a library or something, or find out more what I can about, or maybe we all can just kind of figure out in our own ways what this town knows about black dragons and the ending of such creatures. We do have quite a bit of resources here. Not for free, but at a cost. I'm sure we can go to a library or find somebody that can tell us more about our opponents, what to expect of their lair. Maybe even more about the creatures' psychology and what they think, how they work.
Too bad we don't have easy access to that library back.
I know. I was thinking the same thing, brother.
Home.
I mean, because Sir Meat was an old dragon, and I mean, assuming he gave us his real name, there might be specific information. I don't know how dragon studies go.
Well, we have from a few different sources that his name is Glaurung. It was.
Yes.
So I think we're pretty sure about his name. So if we can like research this dragon in particular,
His name is Mark Big Meat Glaurung.
Thank you, Mark Big Meat Glaurung, of course. Lord.
I don't even know why I bothered coming up with names these characters anymore.
It seems reasonable that even if we find something more speaking to tales than true fact, we might be able to get some information from that tomorrow from a library source or another. So I can help track that down tomorrow.
Well, and remember, okay, I'm trying to remember this room because it was like a small room. There were puddles of green water, but it wasn't quite
water.
angry water.
I think it was acidic. Charmin does a whole little small image in the hand thing. Remember this. What do you want me to change to make it look more accurate? Puddle of water, or no, green, like over here.
5 green glowing puddles that Big Meat makes glow more brightly when he gets close to them, or as he moves towards them.
Interesting.
We know he can fly because he totally flew over Sandpoint, so that kind of sucks. As
the same dragon flew over Sandpoint?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, we've seen this.
Yeah, he was the one that liquefied old light and made the hole in there that it went down in for the scales.
When you say liquefied, did he use some kind of breath? Like, did he project?
Yeah, he had it was a prolonged breath weapon use. It was just like it just sat there and was like it took a while to like punch through, right?
That is correct.
Oh, acid.
So we need to find something tomorrow that deals with acid.
If you suspect he uses acid, can't recall anything that would help assist us with that, but it might be something to spend some time thinking about.
Well, was the damage to old light actually like melted stuff, or was that just me adding inappropriate flavor words?
A hole was opened from the top of old light leading downward. I don't recall there being anything specific about it being melted, but I also recall that nobody looked too hard at the opening. You guys were very much focused on the time getting down there quick because the Ascended was there.
Yeah.
So nobody stopped to look to take stock of what it looked like.
We did go through there a couple of times afterwards too, helping to clear it out so there'd be no reason for the people to go in it.
You went down there one additional time.
I did find an additional note. We apparently named him Prince Mark, possibly the dragon, releasing his purple rain when that happened.
So it was a purple breath.
It was a purple breath. Yeah.
That does sound familiar.
So is his name Prince now because Purple Rain?
Well,
Prince Mark.
The dragon formerly known as Prince.
Prince. Yeah, I think that would be Prince
You
Mark
asked
Big
this
Meat
time.
Glow Wrong.
This
Prince
time
is
it's
just
on
his. That's just his title.
Yes. Dragon formerly known as Mark is the name.
You got to put it's going to be one of them 50-word titles.
All right.
We might be able to find something that if we suspect acid, we should do some more research on black dragons, and we should also see if there's anything. Once we have that, we might want to see if there's some kind of something that could aid us in that, whether a weapon or armor or a coating or for weapons or something we could look into.
Or coating for your body. Charm.
Tarnin,
Yes.
is there a library in this city?
A couple of them.
Oh. Cool.
Tarnin, are you from Magnamar?
No, but I've spent a lot of time here.
I see.
Yes.
I feel like
Gendrick did join the party after you had your little heart-to-heart on the boat.
Yep. The the short version is I'm not from Magnemar. I spent a lot of time in Magnemar, and I was not always such a good person.
Well, that happens to the best of us.
Fair to say.
All right. Well, I've been in a library once before. I think I've got a pretty good handle on how they function. So
There's
I
robot-
am.
All libraries, right?
I mean, I assume so. Like 100% of the libraries that I've been in my lifetime, yes.
So whose decimal system are we using in Versia?
Huey's.
Robot.
Oh, Huey. So is it Dewey Lewis in the news then?
No, that's the name of Sinishi's band.
Perfect. Her band name is now Do We Lose Us in the Muse? No? Oh, everyone else? All right, fine.
That's beautiful. We lose.
This is all fantastic. I love it.
So basically, okay, back on track. I feel I have a decent handle on a library system at this point, so I am more than happy to lend my services to try to research black dragons and Prince Meatbags, excuse me, specifically, because I mean, obviously, it can't be hard. Like, been to a library. It would be silly to not try to hit these ones before we leave town. Figure that'll take like what, hour max?
You feel free to spend several hours there tomorrow. I actually know a scribe that might be able to point me in the right direction. I'll see what kind of information I can get and meet you back here. Let's plan on having lunch here.
Oh, can we go to Granny's? Those blood sausages are so good.
Of course we can.
Yay! Yeah, Gendrick, you're gonna love them. She is the most amazing chef. It's just, and hopefully, maybe you'll get lucky and she'll play the flute for us. She is phenomenal. Like, the only thing better than her cooking is her playing. And her heart. She's amazing. I'm excited for you to meet her, Gendrick.
As you do say that, the younger boy, Rasmus, comes over and just like all of you are focused on each other, and then just there is a giant plate of blood sausages just right in the middle of your table. And the young boy just kind of looks at all of you, nods his head, and comes back to the kitchen.
So much better than Little Bastard.
I don't know.
Arnon's got a soft spot for Little Bastard.
I mean, could be related.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do this evening?
Have a few drinks, get just a bit tipsy, and go back to bed.
All right. So you all got back together about 10. I will say that drinks and tipsiness, midnight, back to your rooms. That sound about right? Couple hours. All right. So then when you return back to the All the Way Inn and you make your way up to the second floor to your rooms, every door, every one of your doors, except for Grelda's, seems to have a small, well, not really small, have a wrapped basket sitting in front of it. All slightly different from each other. Yes.
I'm going to check for traps.
Give me a check.
I've seen this show before. I know how this goes.
I know how this movie ends.
The hell? Oh, there it is.
As far as you can tell, it seems fine.
Okay. Is Gendrick nearby? Is he still in the hall?
Gendrick,
I'm by you, looking at my wrapped basket.
Icky, wait.
I'm gonna poke at mine with one of my axes.
Nice.
Can I roll a perception check to realize that Grelda's door doesn't have one?
everybody would just like, you don't even need to roll.
Okay.
You would notice that Grelda's door does not have one in front.
I think maybe this is from Grelda, guys. Her door's the only one that doesn't have one.
You rolling insight for Icky?
Icky nudges it with his toe, and then just digs in.
All right, then. Tammy, has your coughing fit subsided?
I will do my best. If I have to, I will paste these so that people can read their own individual ones. So, Icky, you find 5 wineskins full of something, as well as a cupcake. Actually, I'm just going to tell you what's in them because I don't want you to have to like figure it out. So each of the 5 wineskins is filled with a strong vodka that is infused with the sweetest tropical fruits that she could find, that are bolstered with ripe berries and just a hint of fresh mint. The cupcakes that you have are lemon poppy seed with a very strong vodka infused fruit filling on the inside. So if you bite into them, you get the fruity vodka on the inside and the lemon vanilla frosting, as well as a note written in fluent Aarakocran. It is my honor to call you friend. Attached to that note is just a simple brown and gray feather. It's like a wing feather from like a land bird, not some kind of hawk or anything like that. And it's got a block of bright red dwarven hair braided and carefully affixed to the shaft. Also, there's a couple of extra notes that are the recipes for the cupcakes and the drink.
Oh. Icky immediately he takes the feather and kind of like arranges it into his plumage. Pops one of the skins and takes a sip of the vodka. Ooh, fruity, minty, delicious. Oh, strong. Oh, Grelda. As anybody else, if nobody else does anything, then
Well, I gotta see what we got.
Icky will do a thing. But
I gotta see what I got now that I know what it is. Or ish. Did it save?
All right, so Sanishi's gonna open hers.
Yep.
All right, Sanishi, you have 1 wineskin in yours, a cupcake, and the note next to the drink says, I know you don't drink alcohol, so I turned my memory to one of the greatest dwarven epics ever told, the Odyssey called Stone Trek. In it, the adventuring party's warrior, a half-orc, half-dwarf named Worf, is said to enjoy a beverage similar to this, what he called a warrior's drink. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to be pasting a link into the in-session chat now, in case no one got any of that reference. So inside of your wineskin, you will find prune juice mixed with warming peppers. The cupcake you have is also a lemon poppy seed on the outside, but the center, when you bite into it, is a surprise. It's almost liquid. It flows very, very freely. It's not stiff at all. It's beets and red berries, rich enough to stain the lips and the tongue red. The frosting is lemon and vanilla. And recipes for the above are also enclosed, including a hypothetical recipe for a blood wine with instructions on how to keep blood from curdling or souring, and even more hastily scribbled instructions on the best source of blood, which would be pig or beef, and please don't serve people goblin blood or blood from any sentient species.
Oh, this is amazing. Like, to eat the cup, you eat the cupcake because fuck yes. Like, sniff at the warrior drink and take a sip and just, it does take a warrior to drink this, and just chug. God, and have a fun morning.
All right. Is anybody else opening their basket?
Yes.
All right. I'll do my best, y'all. I'm starting to cough from talking. So you have one wineskin as well, and your cupcakes look different than the other cupcakes. The note you have is wrapped up in a white candle with a rainbow moonstone. Let me see if I can copy this image from here. Copy? Can I paste? No? No? Pretty please? Try it one more time. All right, I'm gonna have to do a snippy tool real quick. Snip. So for anyone who doesn't know what rainbow moonstone looks like, it is a semi-precious. Why is that not working? Hello? Hello?
Oh.
Copy.
Hello.
Hello? Copy. Piesto. There we go.
Aha! Ooh.
So it, when you first look at it, it tends to look just like a milky gray or white stone. The less pure it is, the more of the black impurities and flecks and stuff that you'll have in it. But when it catches the right, just right, it shimmer with anywhere from like a yellow to a blue to a green. So your note says, dwarves mark the loss of a loved one with stone and fire. Hopefully your people do something similar, and you can use these to honor your wife in a way that has meaning for you. This is Rainbow Moonstone. It marks new beginnings in healing, empowering, and rediscovering one's inner self. You have gone through so much so swiftly. I hope this helps you focus on the good in the changes that your life has had, and to remember that a thing doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful. It just needs someone willing to look at it in just the right way.
Tarnan is standing there speechless.
And then, sorry, the drink that you have is also strong vodka, but it's infused with the same cinnamon that had been used to make the beer that you got last time.
Very nice.
as well as a little bit of apple juice and other warming spices. The cupcake you have is a cinnamon cupcake with cinnamon frosting with a gently alcoholic apple filling and a candied apple slice on top.
Oh, wow.
And then you have recipes for the above enclosed, including an extremely detailed description of the specific flavor profiles of cinnamon needed and the name of the shop that she bought it from last time. Like 3 pages of the flavor profile on the cinnamon, 1 page of recipe.
Cool. Very cool. He's still standing there kind of speechless with the stone, though. The stone in the card.
Gendrick is going to be like, interesting. And he's going to use his sonic screwdriver to basically like pick up the basket, but then carry it into his room and say, as he's closing the door, just kind of like half says goodnight, closes the door, goes in. He will then open it in his room, but feel free to paste what that is in session chatters.
All right, I will do that now. Thank you.
And then, since Geisen has not left his room yet, his is still outside his room. So if you want to paste that in there as well, I will make sure Lars sees it.
In fact, as long as you've got it, would you paste mine as well so I can just copy and paste it?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
All right. Then is there anything else that anybody wants to do before you go to sleep?
Try to take over the world.
The pinky, the Tarnan, and the icky. Do-do-do-do-do. All right. In that case, everybody.
Sorry, I thought I had So everyone's baskets are now out of the hallway except for Geisen's. Yeah. Icky will, as stealthily as he can, check to see if Geisen's door is locked. If it isn't, he's going to try to quietly open it and put the basket in and close the door and then go.
It's locked. Yes.
Locked. All right. I kick down the door. No.
Give me a strength.
Where is he?
It's like, it's good for you guys, Ed. Okay, well, he'll just kind of like nudge the basket a little closer to the door then, and head back to his room.
All right. In that case, if there's nothing else anybody would like to do, we will say that everybody gets a long rest. Everybody wakes up at 8:30 after a full night's rest. And with that, and it being 9, we will take another 5-ish minute break. All right, so everybody awakes at about 9. And as everybody wakes up, you exit your rooms, and you see that Geisen's basket is no longer outside of his room.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mission accomplished. Everybody can leave. All right, so everybody you open your door, you're exiting your rooms. What is everybody doing this morning?
I am like so prepped and certain that I am just going to go nail some internet research, and it's going to be easy, breezy, no
Beautiful.
problem whatsoever. Yeah, like I'm so pumped. I'm so here for it. I'm like that super overexcited jock kid who you just know is going to get beat down real bad.
Tarnan is really torn. He's torn between going to watch this wondrous adventure, and actually trying to accomplish what he said he was going to accomplish today. But he's going to go accomplish what he said he's going to accomplish today, and regret it later.
Geralda pulls Icky aside and asks what she missed at dinner last night.
Not really a whole lot. Apparently we have more of a plan to get back to the dragon than I thought we did, which, hey, pleasant surprise to me. I realize maybe I've been a little focused on draining delicious skins, by the way. Good Lord. Thank you so much, friend.
Geralda grins and gives big thumbs up.
But no, we're gonna we're waiting on Geisen to be ready to take us back to Hars, and then it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to we all kill a dragon round 2, electric boogaloo.
Or trick or talk to a dragon, depending on what we learn at research.
I believe we've established at this point that Icky's not paying attention or retaining.
That doesn't mean I will ever stop showing off that I am paying attention and retaining. Ha!
So is this an in-character conversation that happens, or has everyone else left and it's just Icky recounting?
I thought that Icky and Grelda were just having an aside.
Thought it was an aside as well, yeah.
As did I.
Okay, so then Grelda doesn't know that y'all are researching dragons. Just assumes we have another day to kick around.
Uh-huh.
So I will say, as this conversation happens, everyone at the same time feels the ground under their feet quake, shake. You feel what you would know as a small earthquake. Everybody does at the same time. You see the walls move slightly, the things on the walls rattle for a couple of seconds. And I will say it is nothing that any of you have felt before. And you just hear people screaming and yelling. It only lasts for a couple of seconds. It's relatively short, but there is absolutely no missing it.
Mm-hmm. So Icky kind of like snaps to attention, just like, we were also going to be looking into how to kill that dragon or how to bypass the dragon. Like, Today's a day of research while we wait for Geisen. That.
Oh, it only takes a
Worth
small
checking
earthquake for
into.
him to remember.
I'm gonna kind of glance at Tarnan and just like, wait, have you? Are earthquakes common in this city?
I don't know what that was, but no, that's the first. Never experienced that here. Let's go back. Let's go get the other. Let's go meet up with the team.
As soon as you finish saying that, Gendrick's door flies open and he jumps out and he says, Tarnan, is this normal for Magnemar?
Nope, not that I'm aware of. I've never had this happen before.
And then as soon as you answer that, Geisen's door flies open and Geisen pops out, puts his hat on, goes, "What the hell was that?" And then looks directly at Tarnan.
Not sure. Let's go figure that out.
So as Geisen takes a couple of steps toward Tarnan, immediately you see another Geisen step out of the room, put its hat on, and follow.
Blades drawn. Crossbow out.
What the
Hey,
fuck is
where's
that?
your friend?
Geisen raises his hand, and I am not going to pretend to try and roleplay for Lars, but he explains that this is what he has been doing. He has been casting the Simulacrum spell. He has created an illusionary duplicate of himself that is partially real and partially formed from ice. Basically, it is almost a clone of Geisen. It cannot, let me see. It appears to be the same as the original. It has half the creature's hit points and is formed without any equipment. It cannot take long rests and get, it lacks the ability to learn or become more powerful, but basically it is an almost exact copy of Geisen. And that is why he needed the ruby dust.
From here on out, as long as this guy's around, anytime I try to talk to Tyson or Geisen, I'm going to talk to the wrong one. Just, even if we have been having a conversation, my face will shift to the copy, and I will talk to that as if it's the real one. Laying it out there.
Grelda internalizes that gnomes are made of ruby dust. That's all she really got out of this.
That's how new gnomes are created.
They produce asexually.
So does that mean like Grelda thinks this is actually Geisen's child?
And a baby.
Ruby
Kind of.
sexual?
All it
I
took
mean,
is 100 gold and
plants.
12 hours in his room, and he had a baby.
Yeah, a baby. But I mean, she's seen plants, propagate from cuttings, so she just assumes something like that happened. Or they both speak and like move independently, right?
Yes, the Ikram, let me see, it obeys spoken commands, moving and acting in accordance with your wishes and acting on your turn in combat. Yeah, it's not like if you were to talk to them both, you would be able to tell which one is Geisen and which one is not. It is not like an actual clone, but it has all of Geisen's spell slots.
That's the important part.
Can't regain spell slots once used because it can't learn or recover abilities, but it basically has one full selection of Geisen's spell slots and can act on Geisen's turn as Geisen dictates.
Can you make a whole army of these for us? I mean, like a couple of Sidishis, a couple of Greldas. Ooh, how many Sashas can you make? Wait, how many? An air force, a flying force of birds. How many rubies do you need?
So Geisen needs 12 hours to cast it, or ice in quantities sufficient to make a life-size copy of the duplicate creature. Some hair, fingernail clippings, or other piece of the creature's body placed inside of the snow or ice, And powdered ruby dust worth 1,500 gold.
Tarnan pauses and then grabs the dragon claw that they all have around their neck and says, what about other things? Clippings, right? Would this work?
The shape has to be a duplicate of one beast or humanoid that is within range for the entire casting of the spell. And you have to be able to create enough snow or ice to make a life-size copy of the creature. So if you had a dragon that was within the distance of the spell that was willing, you would still need snow or ice to craft enough snow or ice to make a full-sized creature.
Okay, that's fine. My other backup plan was to have you turn Shinichi into something like a T-Rex or a mammoth again, and we'll make copies of those and have Sinishi's army rumble off into the distance and destroy everything before us, and all we have to do is kind of herd them-ish? No? All
Strike
right.
a pose. Copy me.
That would not actually work. The DM, because polymorph does not last 12 hours.
Damn it.
You would need something like a true polymorph spell. And even then, you would need enough snow or ice to cover the full-size creature. Which I don't... So I will tell you, me and Lars talked about this for a while. He has the shape water spell, which allows him to create ice.
Got it.
So, and since the gnome, it's only a 5 foot by 5 foot ice. So since he's a gnome, that fits in there. But if it was like Tarnan, that would not fit in there. So one person would not be able to use the shape water spell to create a Tarnan.
Tarnan can squish down.
Anyway, but yes, so he described, so that is why he's got a little friend following him around.
Two Grildas.
Tarnan,
Go ahead.
Tarnan, are you really asking for a mini-me?
I don't know if I should share the memes that me and Lars were sending back and forth, but most of them were Dr. Evil and Mini-Me memes while we were talking about this.
But another one of you, Grilda. That would be terrifying and wonderful to behold.
There can only be one Sasha, though, so it would just be cruel.
That is factually correct, because it's with no equipment.
Yeah.
And the spell plots is it could talk to animals. That would not be worth the effort.
Fine.
After this conversation happens,
Oh yeah, shaking and
Tarnan.
destruction.
Tarnan, you all of a sudden, like as the rest of the group is kind of talking amongst themselves, their voices fall silent, and the only thing you hear is the second hand of a pocket watch ticking away, and on the ground, like in the middle of the group, like the group is all standing around talking to each other, and on the ground in the middle of the group, you see everything darkens, and all you see is a small dragon, almost an exact copy of Blaurung, and in all its full majesty and glory. And then just like you blink and you see a stack of bones, and then you blink again and everything comes back. The conversation, the lights, the vision's gone, and that's it.
Were the stack of bones recognizable? Were they?
It was still in the shape of a dragon, but it was just bones. The skin, the horns, all of that was on the dragon is gone. And it was only for an instant. It was just, you blinked, it was there, you blinked, it was gone.
Man, I hope Tarna's catching this better than I am. Guys.
God, you guys are quick with these memes. I'm sorry.
So, let's just say you're standing there with your friends talking about stuff going on in the world ending. There was an earthquake just a minute ago, and now we're talking about creating new things. And then you just get this sensation, and a copy of the dragon shows up in Tarn's hand, appears almost exactly the same size as this on the floor. And then there was the sound of time ticking away, and then there was a pile of bones that looked just like the dragon. My best guess is maybe we're being told by a very lovely phoenix that it's time to go. We gotta move. We gotta take it out now. Now is the time. Now is the time to kill the dragon. We need to go.
Or if we just wait, it will die naturally.
Do you really think we're that lucky?
I mean, probably not, because even if that were the thing, then it's technically, if its power would go to its master, and that's bad. So it seems bad one way or the other, really.
But I'm terrible at interpreting visions on the fly. So if anyone else got another suggestion, I thought maybe I'd just put it out there.
Can I try to interpret this vision using an acrobatics check by chance?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I'm sorry. You had me at absolutely, so I rolled a 25.
That was an absolutely wasted 25. If you wanted to try a wisdom check, you absolutely can.
All right. I do a wisdom check.
Can I?
Sure.
Cool. I get to roll.
15.
15? Seems bad. Being positive, that's all you really get.
Shit.
And that is exactly how it would have gone through Icky's internal monologue too. It's seems bad.
I got a 9.
Got a 9. Tarn's just, I have absolutely no, you, I will say, because you're the one who got the vision, you did get a sense of dread, but that was really it. And then I can just imagine Icky just Tarnan explaining it, and Icky just goes yep, seems bad.
Canon, right there. That's got to be what happened.
So that's
Seems
the
bad.
episode title. Seems bad.
Yeah. No one has a bad feeling about this.
Doesn't Geisen have a spell that's I don't know, prophecy or something where he gets a divination, something?
Let me. What the hell was that noise?
It's the impending doom.
One of the songs was playing footsteps in the snow. Hold on.
Atmospheric.
We're
we're holding on. I have a minor roleplay moment.
Ooh, you do your thing. I'm going to look at this.
Yes. When Gendrick ran out of the room, some of you, depending on your perception roll, might have noticed that he has a new item adorning his breastplate, and he seems to have soldered the red jasper stone into the top middle of his breastplate.
Ooh.
I rolled a 27.
Yes.
Geralda doesn't really look at the breasts of her companions, but since that's eye height for her, she probably would notice.
Very cool.
So he'll kind of gesture over at the new friend and be like, well, that looks new and improved. Do we have a new and improved name for our new and improved friend?
Sorry, were you talking to me? I spaced out for a moment.
I was talking to DM basically for
DM. Sorry.
What do we call guys?
Oh
what's
shit!
Geisen's
I'm
got for
sorry,
me?
because
That's
Sean
right.
was doing a different thing.
Oh no. Geisen kind of looks at him, looks at you. You can call him Mini G.
No, that came straight from Lars, didn't it?
It did not, but it is canon now.
Oh dear.
It's not Mini Me, it's Mini G.
And he wonders where we get the name shit from.
I take
All
My-
blame all
from you
credit.
guys. I take inspiration from you guys.
All right.
All right. So,
The world is ending. Let's go outside and find out why.
Yeah,
Geisen-
guys.
since people were asking, or since I think Tammy asked, Geisen does have a divination spell that puts your magic or an offering put you in contact with a god or god servant. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. GM offers a truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. That is how we found out ways to get out of the room where you killed the wizard. You were trying to figure out the best way to get somewhere. And that is how we found that out.
Do we think this would be a time where he would use that, or do we think one message from a cryptic god/demon is probably enough for this?
It is a 4th level divination spell. It takes 11 minutes to cast.
Okay. That's a no then.
I mean, you can do it.
I don't think he would.
Crowdsourcing Geisen, so you guys can use all of his fucking spells that you want.
So we'll use it tonight, later on.
Yeah, well, we were just planning on once he was ready to go to just like teleport out, yeah, and head out to Harse and head out to the dragon, and so like
We were
seems
going to
we
do the
should-
whole researching thing today, but now there's a whole earthquake thing, and we're still standing in the hallway. How much screaming is still going on?
It's not continuous because it was relatively short. Like it wasn't like a normal earthquake. It was a couple of seconds and it stopped. It was enough to like freak people out, but there's not like rioting in the streets or anything. People have kind of calmed down from what you can hear, at least in the all the way in. People are not still screaming.
Right. So Icky is gonna do like, I'm gonna go and do a quick circle and see if I can see what the repercussions of all that were. Geisen, Mini G, if you guys want to summon your Olivanders and your mini Olivanders so they can shame me, knock yourselves out. Otherwise, I'm going to do the best I can.
Icky, I'll be out front. You'll be able to fly over from you, and if I can see you, I'll be able to message you, and you'll be able to tell me what's going on, and I'll pass it on.
Yeah. So, like, Icky will jump out the nearest window that he can open and fit through.
Okay, so I'm going to just like make a guess for Geisen. The Find Familiar is a 1st level spell, and it needs to be a ritual, which is like 10 minutes. And I'm gonna guess that Lars would not want to waste a 1st level spell on his Mini G casting this.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wouldn't.
So
Not
I'm gonna
for
say,
Mini G at all.
considering what you guys have coming up, I would assume even his 1st level spells he would consider
Yeah,
precious.
I agree.
So Icky makes his way outside. Give me a perception check for your flight.
8.
What was that?
8. Fucking
8?
8.
You see people that are out there in the streets. They don't seem to be particularly.
I'm sorry. Hold that thought for just a moment.
Yes.
I feel like I have a feat where I can burn a key point to re-roll something like that, but maybe I'm just making.
Let me
it up.
know.
I mean, we're looking at going into the end fight. I don't know if this is a great time to be using key points.
God, you hush.
I will use them how I damn well please.
Geralda's going to take this time to go back into her room and gather up all her stuff.
Oh no, it's for saving throws. I'm sorry.
Oh yes, this was not a saving throw. All right, so while Grelda packs up her things, Icky, you do notice that there are people in the streets. There seem to be crowds gathering. There's a little bit of, you see some little bit of smoke, a little bit of soot, especially from the poorer parts of town. Like this particular earthquake might have toppled some of the less well-constructed buildings, but there doesn't seem to be any lasting damage that you can see. You do notice that the sky to the northeast in the distance seems like you see a black cloud dissipating in the northeast, like far away. Like it's so like you cannot tell how far this is, but it is in the distance.
I know for a fact that Geisen would make some sort of do I feel like that's in the direction of Xin-Shalast check.
Or Dwayne.
Well, it can't be Dwayne. Dwayne is at least a mile away. But if you go back inside and you point it out to Geisen, Geisen could make a wisdom check. No, never mind. You guys have teleported to Xin-Shalast, but you have not traveled to or from there outside of teleportation. So you have no idea where its location actually is.
Son of a bitch.
You have not traveled to or from there, so you do not know.
Okay, fair.
So he would have
welcome to Grelda's world, okay? She may have been places, but left and right, who the fuck knows?
Left, right, up, down, what?
She's usually wrapped up in a carpet anyway.
It's a
Calling me a carpet.
No, I'm saying you've been wrapped up in a carpet.
Well, all right, so then Icky will head back and relay what he's seen.
What have you men over there seen? How about you men over there? Icky?
The cloud chaos, but not too bad chaos.
You guys, I'm getting a little nervous that the machine, that final thing that's like that meat dragon was guarding, may have just like exploded or destroyed or.
All right, tell you what, we see crowds gathering in a couple different locations. Icky, grab a partner, go over to that one, and Gendrick, come with me, and Grelda, you and Geisen come up with another plan. Cover everybody? Yeah, okay. And we'll meet back here in 10 or less. All right, go team.
Grelda turns to Geisen and says, "What if we catapult me directly into the enemy?"
A dwarfapult. I like it.
So basically, it's all on Geisen. I'm sorry.
Nothing but good things come from this.
There is actually a catapult spell where you can catapult objects. I think you would be too heavy, but that just made me think of that. All right, so Tarnin, what are the two groups doing? Just so I understand.
Icky's taking Sanishi, and I'm taking Gendrick, and we're going in different directions to where you said there were different groups of people standing around gathering.
Yes.
And the idea was for us to go see if anybody in those groups knows what happened or has more information, gather such information, and then come back.
All right, then I need one person from each group to give me an investigation check.
I nominate Gendrick.
Icky, Sanishi, and Tarnin and Gendrick.
So I feel like Sanishi would know on like Icky well enough at this point that on a scale of 1 to 10, his ability with investigation is about a -1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the one who needs to plaster the smile on my face and go talk to the people. Not intimidating at all. It's just some investigation.
17? All right. Tarnin and Geisen?
Gendrick, actually.
Tarnin and Gendrick, I'm sorry. Tarnin and Gendrick, one of you two.
And if it comes to investigation, I think it needs to be Gendrick.
I can use guidance if I have that as a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
You could cast that on yourself first.
Okay.
To give yourself a +1d4.
I'm gonna guidance myself with the sonic screwdriver just to like, I don't know, clear the air and help me listen around. So that's a 13 plus 4, 17.
So 17. And I am sorry. What did you get, Sanishi?
17.
17. All right. As you go down and listen to the group talk, ask some questions, you realize that they have no more information than you do. They were in their homes or in a tavern or in a business, and the ground shook. And nothing like that has ever happened in any of their lifetime, so they have no idea what's going on. You do get the sense that there isn't a whole lot of damage done, but everybody is a little on edge. Outside of that, though, you aren't able to pick up anything that could be pointing to a cause.
Okay, so my theory is so far the best we got.
And after the 10 minutes passes, everybody comes back together, and Geisen and Mini G are both talking to Grelda very intently about what a dwarfapult would entail.
This sounds wonderful. However, no, actually carry on. We ain't found nothing. Shaking stop. City seems to be standing. I think we need to go about our day unless we gotta just take off right now. I mean, I'd rather spend the extra time and see if we can find something to help us take out this dragon.
I don't know. Like I said, your vision seems bad.
Yes. Yes, it does. It's either bad for the dragon or bad for us because we're running out of time. I'm not sure. I will pray for further guidance later. But right now, I don't have another suggestion. I am willing to hear all ideas right now. What do you guys got?
Oh, I think if you really want to, if you want to wait and take this day to keep doing the dragon research, all right, cool. Jill, you're muted, sweetie.
I lip read a fuck in there. That's all I got.
Yes.
There we go.
So, I mean, Tarnan, you're the one who got the vision. Like, only you can tell us or really know how immediate it is. I have no idea. I have no idea if we continued the day of research or not. If Tarnan thinks it's okay to continue with our day of research and prep, then we do it.
It's not so much as I don't know what else to do. I mean, our plan is take the research day and then go try to kill this dragon. But nowhere in there did we have a citywide earthquake and a vision of the dragon. Look, okay, let's play this out again. Standing there, you guys are talking. Earthquake happened. Standing there talking. And now Tarnan's trying to reach out with his mind and replay the whole thing and trying to glean something more. Something more.
Tarnan only recalls the sound of the second hand of a stopwatch ticking, seeing the dragon that you had met, and then seeing the dragon you had met as nothing but bones, and then everything was gone.
I felt what? I felt dread at
Dread.
the ticking. I felt dread at the dragon.
Felt dread during the entire vision.
Zelda steps forward, which she almost never does, and says, "Let's just go. Let's do it. Earthquakes. I know a thing or two about rocks. That's non-normal." And
Right,
she
what is that?
elbows Icky and says, "Yeah, that's bad."
But is that the point? Is that the sense of dread? Is it us going to face it and killing it? Is that what causes the dread? Does that bring it closer? I mean, I'm trying to decide if it felt more like killing the dragon brings us more dread, brings us we run out of time sooner, brings us closer to the end of whatever, to the machine, or does.
Have we ever thought about anything this hard, Captain? And if not, why should we start now? Let's go kill it.
I want to kill it, I do, but I also want to try to make it a little easier for us.
I feel like Tarnan is playing a mental game of like, I clearly cannot take the drink in front of you with his god, and it's having some issues.
I kind of am.
It's because Livy just watched that movie for the first time last week.
What'd you think?
Have that aside at the next break.
Okay.
What'd you think of? Next break. We'll talk about Princess Bride.
Well, it was funny.
She said funny and cheesy.
Well,
Accurate.
yeah.
Which was the point. Yep. Sorry, we watched that last week, so that's very fresh reference.
Gyson,
Okay,
how
also
long do you need to send us there?
What was that?
Gyson, how long do you need to set it up so you can send us there?
Gyson reminds you that the only way you have been able to travel there before is by using the teleportation circle in the city of Hars. So you would have to get to Hars and then travel from there. Which could either be through Dwayne, which would be a multi-day journey, or there would need to be a teleportation spell used to get you there, and then a teleportation spell used to get you to Xin-Shalast. But the only way you've ever gotten to Xin-Shalast before was by using the teleportation circle that you got to through the basement of the church in Hars. So you need to get to Hars. So he says, with his mini G, he can use the two, like they could each use one teleportation spell. They could use one to get you to Hars and one to get you to Xin-Shalast. But other than that, it will be a multi-day journey on Dwayne. And teleport is a... Where is that? Where is it? Trying to find what level spell. Teleport is a 7th level spell, of which they each only have one.
So this goes back to the question of, hey, Tarnan, got any contacts that we could just like pay to teleport us somewhere?
Well, the little bit that I do know about magic is when someone else is doing it for you, it's stupid expensive. Don't quote me on this exact number, but probably upwards of a couple of 1,000 gold for us to get to anywhere. Probably more. I mean, considering what Gyson has to go through just for some of his spells, now we're asking someone else to do it, and they'd have to come back, and so they have to cast it twice, and they're stuck there. From my understanding of how that works, Gyson, correct me if I'm wrong, but you would, if we hired someone, they would send us. No, they couldn't even send us. They'd take us, and then they'd have to sit there and come back. I think, maybe.
They would. They would need to teleport with you. Hold on, let me read the teleportation spell really quick.
Quick, well, the DM's not looking. Everyone figure out what the hell it meant, what that dragon thing meant.
So they would need to teleport with you and back. The familiarity, Tarnan and Gyson would both know that if you pay a third party to use a teleport spell, the cost of the spell would be affected by the number of creatures that were wanted to be teleported and by the familiarity of the third party with the destination, because the less familiar they are, the more that increases the chance for a mishap. So like one, it is not cheap. It's You would like even the safest teleportation is going to cost you about 5,000 gold. And the more of a risk that the teleport poses will increase the cost. So it is not ungodly expensive, but you are correct, it is not inexpensive.
And then out of character, because you genuinely seemed angsty about this. I do think the clock is ticking was a fairly obvious missive, and also we had a message from the last one where it was like you can defeat the dragon with its pride, but that may be taken out of your hands, something like that. So it sounds like maybe the dragon's not a thing anymore. I don't know. That's my out of character figuring out what your message might have been. And I really only toss that out there in case I'm the only one who remembers what happened because I watched the video recently and y'all played it a long time ago.
I appreciate that. Okay, guys, and I really don't want to. If your little buddy doesn't get to recharge on spells, but you do, I'm kind of looking at. We do the teleport. You can't teleport us directly to Xin-Shalast, can you?
So, way the teleport spell works. Destination you choose must be known to you.
He's been there once in person.
Familiarity is what dictates how difficult it is. There is the familiarity chart has viewed once, seen casually, and very familiar. You've been there twice, so it'd be more than seen once. So I would consider it a seen casually.
Well, no, Sean, what I was asking him, what Tarnan was asking Geisen is, can you teleport us directly to Xin-Shalast?
That's what I mean. Like, you have been to Xin-Shalast twice. You've only been there twice.
Didn't
you
we spend the night there one time,
teleported
though?
back, teleported there, teleported out.
All right. I don't remember that.
Like Shinichi makes a good point. Like, didn't we we took some sort of rest there though as well, didn't we?
Yes. There and that would there's a viewed once, a seen casually, and a very familiar. You are not very familiar with Xin-Shalast.
Cool.
You have also more than viewed it once. So that would be the seen casually level of risk.
Gotcha.
Which is a 1 to 33 is a mishap. 34 to 43 is a similar area. 44 to 53 is off target. And 54 to 100 is on target. So you have a third of a chance of a mishap and about a 50% chance of getting where you want to go. So you don't have to go to Hars. The only thing is, if you go from that Sahedron room, that's 100% no mishap. You can teleport from here, but there is a third of a chance of a mishap and a 20% chance that you end up off target. Close, but off target.
Okay, so unless anyone really wants to overrule me on this, I'm saying we stick with the original plan. We do what we can today. We take off first thing in the morning to go to the Sahedron room. Shit, by way of Dwayne, because if we don't get there intact, it doesn't matter how long it takes us to get there.
Well,
and just because you are bringing up Dwayne from where you are now, it will be 200.
3 days.
5 days. So if you were to fly on Dwayne, it'd be about 5 days to Hars.
I mean, it's not like anyone else in the world's trying to save it, right? I think we need to be cautious because if we fail, who's picking up the pieces after us?
That doesn't mean it's not worth saving.
Oh, it's very much worth saving.
Hopefully,
There's
if we
good in
fail,
the world,
everyone will
Mr.
just be
Tarnan.
dead.
There is good. I'm sorry, say again, Sinishi.
Oh, so hopefully if we fail, everyone will just be dead, so it'll be okay.
I can't agree with that. Sorry. Something has changed, and I suddenly seem to care about others, and it's all your fault. Looking at each of you.
I vote we take the 2 teleport spells. Gerda puts one hand up.
Well, so how well does does Geisen doesn't know Hars any better than, or significantly better than Xin-Shalast? Then
No.
So they would both be similar, like the same difficulty. Sean
guess
is
if
frozen
that's-
and Jill is chewing.
Yes, but we know where Harst is, and we have a map of that area. So if we get off going to Harst, we're not completely fucked. And
No, I'm still recording too.
So he'll be able to see all the bad things we said about the DM style in the recording.
Yeah.
Say
I mean,
it to my
basically-
face.
I stand by my words. He is a big fat duty head. Oh god.
You know,
Oh god, he's the best. I
that's
love
fair.
it.
No, the duty head. Yeah, that's fair. I'll take that.
I mean, you are where you are because of duty right now.
Nice.
You are a duty head.
So hate you right now.
Professional duty head. All right, so
No, okay, so all right, so now I remember. Fortunately, that bantery bullshit has given me enough time to figure out what I was talking about. So, if I remember correctly, Geisen knows Hars from that 3-point scale standpoint, no better than he knows Xin-Shalast, correct?
I would say that because the difference is seen casually to very familiar, and I would not say anybody in your group is very familiar with Hars.
Okay.
hey, I've rearranged furniture and painted a wall or chalked up a wall in Harst. I'm pretty damn familiar with that town.
So
Yeah.
It actually, hold on a second. It actually gives very familiar is a place you have been very often, a place you have carefully studied, or a place you could see when you cast the spell. Seen casually is someplace you have seen more than once, but with which you are not very familiar.
So, but he cast the spell teleport in Xin-Shalast to get us out of there.
Yes.
So would that make it very familiar then?
No. He has not carefully studied it, and he cannot see it when he casts the spell.
Hey, hold on. Well, if he teleports us, we wouldn't be taking Dwayne anyway, would we?
Okay. I mean, can't we?
We could go back for
we
Dwayne.
did we did this before, and after much discussion on the wording of the spell, it was decided that if Dwayne was shrunk down or polymorphed into a smaller size,
That's
he
right.
could come with you. Because he would be a willing creature, because it doesn't say anything about needing to be non-magical or anything like that. So Dwayne could come. It would just, he needs to fit entirely inside a 10-foot cube, which means he would need to be polymorphed into something smaller.
And what level spell slot does polymorph require?
It's 4 or 5, I think. Let me check.
Gendrick has the ability to reduce a creature's size by half. Just saying. Just
I don't
saying.
think
Now-
that's enough. Dude's pretty big.
Yeah, true.
Then he'll only fit 3 of us instead of 6.
Well, you wouldn't be flying him. You would only shrink him down so you could teleport.
I know, but the joke was he'd still be fucking monstrous.
Yeah, he goes from like monstrous to huge or like huge to large, not like
Yeah.
a mini. Yeah.
Not like Mini G. Oh, all right. I still want to play it safe to make sure we all get there, but if everyone else wants to go, you can outvote me, and I will go happily. I will follow you guys or lead you into the bowels of hell, whatever. But
I'm with
the
you, Kat.
decision is: are we teleporting direct or are we teleporting to Harse? Is that the?
Well, no. The first decision is: are we taking a day to finish doing the dragon research, and then, or are we heading out to do dragon shit right now? And then the secondary idea then is, when we go do dragon shit, are we going to Harse or are we trying to go to Xin-Shalast
okay.
direct?
So
Right.
Hold on. Before everybody continues talking, Livy's going to go to bed, so she just wants to say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, so plug your switch in, brush stuff, all that, and let me know when you're ready for bed, and I'll tuck you.
All right.
Okay. All right, continue your debate.
Yes. So slightly out of character, slightly metagaming. Do we, our characters, because I think we were at this dragon like a week ago, maybe?
Ish.
How confident are we that the green steaming pools around the dragon were actually acid? Do we actually know that or not? Because I have a thing that, okay, we don't know that yet. Okay.
You do not. I will even tell you that they were green bubbling pools of water, and that's all you saw.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't get angry water feel from them, though.
You did not.
I believe we specifically asked about that, and we did not have angry water feels.
Okay.
And we got to go through this dragon to get to the machine, right? I'm just trying to remember without looking at all my notes here.
Yep.
You have to go through. You have to go through the domain of Glaurung
To get to
into the dimension of Lang, and that's where you'll find the machine and Kurzog.
Okay, so my thought is we take the day, we get whatever supplies, whatever information we can about killing this Glaurung, and then we. I don't want to risk it, but then either way, if we try to teleport, we might as well teleport straight. We might as well just risk it once instead of trying to risk it twice. And it also saves us a spell slot from Mini Guy.
We could put it up to a dice roll, maybe, for the teleport option.
That seems very inappropriate.
How
How in the world would you make a decision by the roll of a die, Gendrick? That's madness.
How late are we gonna go
real.
tonight? I
This isn't a
asked
game.
not because I'm tired and need to go, but because if we're gonna leave exactly after making this decision, then we could wait and let Lars chime in.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna
it
keep
is-
going
it
for a
is-
while after,
It's 10. I am up for whatever. So it depends on how late you guys want to stay up tonight.
I do kind of like the idea of the first thing Lars does in the next session is from exactly at the 0-minute start mark is, hey, where are you teleporting us? Tell us now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I think that would be pretty kind of fun, actually.
I'll try to. We'll have to try to do the previously on in such a way that like puts a lot of pressure on you. It's like, what will Geisen's decision be? I don't know.
I think, and to be fair, if Geisen is doing the teleport, like whichever one he feels most comfortable with might be the best
and the
option.
ending, you can change the ending instead of saying the adventure continues, the party waits for Geisen.
Yeah.
And, we'll all
And
just
then
turn
the
and look
Jeopardy
at
music immediately starts playing.
it. I like it.
Love it. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
All right.
Now the other part: do we give ourselves a day to try to find protection from acid, how to kill a dragon, the bowel movements of dragons? I'm sure one of you guys is going to
Yeah.
find.
I think we can do a nice montage of all that.
Let's do that. Let's do a montage of that.
All right.
Oh, so you're
I am-
how much time are you going to spend doing this research?
the day. Just the day.
Yeah.
So
Shopping's
a full
done.
24 hours sleeping, and we will pick up tomorrow morning at 9.
Well, we were a little tipsy and we went to bed around midnight, so like
Yeah.
let's not get carried away, like late start, okay?
So yeah, 9 o'clock-ish tomorrow morning, we're gonna end up planning on being here and making a hole in space and time and showing up somewhere else. Hopefully where we want to be.
Okay, so you do take 24 hours to look in the libraries. I will be there in just a second, Peanut. Oh, what the? Okay, I will be there in just a second. Okay, I'm gonna go put Livy. I'm gonna go tuck Livy in. Whoever is going to do a search in the library during these 24 hours, I need you to roll an investigation check for me. Everybody have your numbers. And not only have your numbers, but having how many hours of the day you are going to spend doing this research. So I need your rolls and how many hours, and I will be back in just a minute after I put her down.
Does anyone want a flash of genius from me?
Too late. It's not gonna help.
Okay.
It sounds like Geisen wants one.
Yeah,
Yes,
Geisen wants one.
All right. I guess when Geisen gets back, he will get a.
It's nothing to sneeze at.
You will
It's
get
serious.
a solid +4. And I rolled a 19 with guidance.
Apparently, Sanishi's excitement paid off.
Yay.
Yeah. Don't know if she'll learn anything, but holy crap.
32.
Oh, no, natural 20, and I only have a +2. So, but I literally got as high as I could at 22.
That's just like, where should I start looking this library? Maybe this book right here. And it's like,
This random book
Anatomy
right
of
here, on
Dragons.
this random shelf, at this random time, at this random location, on this random page. Oh, how to kill, specifically, Glaurung.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, everything you ever wanted to know about Glaurung, the Black
his
Dragon, and more.
autobiography.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, find his diary. He's like, God, you guys, I really hate it
Oh,
when people
passively-
poke me behind like the 37th scale on my right side. Like, God, it just it kills me. It literally kills me.
So, like, your mama jokes are the funniest things ever, and I laugh for hours after hearing a good one.
And if you read me Goodnight Moon, I will love you forever and be on your side.
There
There you go.
you
These-
see.
This all seems very plausible to me. Why is my brain telling me that Gendrick's gonna come back with a copy of Goodnight Moon?
What's better is he starts reading it.
All right. All right, I'm back.
And your front.
And what?
And your front.
Just the front, not the back.
Oh.
All right, let me.
Dance.
Let me see. All right. Okay, now that I have that up.
Excuse me.
19, 17, 11.
Can I just say that the fact that Icky and I both have a -1, I feel like would mean that when we began our investigation, we started in like the children's books or something. Like, regardless of if we find something or not, we clearly started at a disadvantage.
I mean, I can tell you, the kids' book section is actually an amazing place to start research on a topic you know nothing about. Like, you get the keywords there to get your
It's definitely like explaining it like I'm 5. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
All
as
right,
a library worker,
I need Tarnin's and Sinish, or Tarnin and Sinishi's, yeah.
I already
I
rolled,
rolled a
it.
natural 20, so 22.
Yeah, I rolled like a 9 total.
A 9. All right. So let me see. Icky and Tarnin, you
Man, we ain't.
you
bound.
find out the names of some black dragons that have lived, and just like accounts of destructions of villages and towns that they've been through, but you're not able to find anything useful. As for Geisen, Grelda, and Sinishi, tell me what exactly you're looking for. Like, what information are you trying to find?
I'm looking for information specifically on this dragon. I figure he's old, he's got a name. I want to learn about Galron, the black
All
dragon.
right, I will say that if you're just looking for him specifically, you're able to find accounts of him destroying villages. Going back as far as 500 years, 600 years, and with his name specifically, and the villages were like razed to the ground, nothing left. You do find that he has been tied to various villainous leaders at certain times, but that he always seems to go his own way when they start to fail. But it has been, easily hundreds of years that you see his name crop up. It's not continuous, but... All right, then. Gendrick, what are you looking for? Like, what kind of information are you looking for specifically?
Did we get a Gendrick roll or just a Geisen roll?
mine was a
I just see a
19.
Geisen roll, yes. I do not see a Gendrick roll.
Oh, sorry. I wrote Geisen. I meant Gendrick. My bad.
Oh, okay.
They both start with G. It's kind of difficult.
It does. You tell me what you want and I will do a
I was
Geisen
more or
roll.
less looking for like a generalized dragon anatomy type book. So nothing about like this specific individual dragon, but more just like the types, things like that.
All right, hold on just a second.
As I start thumbing through the indexing system, I see Tarnin with a look on his face, and I say, "Yes." Do you have any thoughts?
I'm gonna suggest little Geisen, little G, mini G. Look for defensive tactics and how to protect oneself against the black dragon, other than not being there.
Okay.
Little G is not at Little G got a 13.
What's better than turning?
Geisen got a 20, but Little G got a 13. All right. So I'm Gendrick. I just want to make sure I'm not going to give you misinformation. You're just looking for the different types of.
Yeah, more or less like some kind of book that would have information on the types of dragons, like something that would help me like understand like the difference between a black dragon and some other type of dragon, perhaps.
All right. Sorry, now you got to hold on a second while I open something up.
Like literally like an Audubon book of dragons, something along those lines.
Yes, just stand by. Stand by. Trying to think of the best way to put it. dragons of different colors usually have different motivations, different reasons for either destruction or collection. You do know that metallic dragons, copper, bronze, gold, those are usually dragons that have more good intentions, whereas the colored dragons, red, green, black, blue, those are usually dragons that are more, I know the generic term would be evil, but more selfish focused, more doing things for their own pleasure and greed, whereas the metallic dragons usually lean towards helping and defending other races. You do know that you find out that the red dragon is known for its more primal nature. It doesn't think a lot. It's aggressive. You do find out that the black dragons tend to dwell away from civilization or on the edges of civilizations. They're usually like dismal caves, grottos, ruined leftovers from previous civilizations. That they are the most evil-tempered and vile of the chromatic dragons. They collect wreckage and treasures of the fallen peoples that have passed by. They loathe seeing the weak prosper and revel in the collapse of humanoid kingdoms. They are known to be brutal and cruel. They are probably the most generally evil and sadistic of all the dragons. You find stories of black dragons purposely watching their prey beg for mercy, offer the illusion of respite or escape before finishing off their enemies, whereas some of the other colored dragons seem to be focused more on collections of certain types of goods or dominion over people, whereas the black dragons seem to be much more sadistic and evil.
Okay.
All right. Then, to what other roles there were? Sanishi. Or I'm sorry, no, Grelda. Grelda, what are you looking for? Grelda?
All right. Yeah, I was cat rooted. So Grelda is going to be looking for ways to defeat them and potentially what their dietary habits are if she has choices past that point. She's thinking, what if we, I don't know, put a whole bunch of dynamite in a dress and pretend that it's a princess? Is this a potentially successful
you aren't able to find any written accounts of weaknesses of black dragons. You are able to find that they don't seem to be hurt by acid in any manner. Let me see. You do read accounts of black dragons swimming under large bodies of water, oceans or lakes, for days at a time before coming back up, giving the author the guess that they can breathe underwater. As for food, I thought here, hold on. Shockingly, D&D Beyond doesn't have a whole lot on their eating habits. They tend to eat any meaty or fleshy prey that they can find, although you do find accounts of them delighting in torturing and playing games with their prey before devouring them. But they are not, you don't find anything about them being very picky on the type of living beings that they eat.
They eat meteors, you say? Just kidding. That's it. That's all I got.
All right, then. What would Geisen be looking for? Anybody crowdsource?
The best way to woo a black dragon.
I think he would be looking for like spell weaknesses, perhaps. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how spells work. Imagine I know things about magic. If I knew magic things, I would want to know if I could like blast more with fire or less with water. I don't know.
You were looking up like how to beat them, which would be weaknesses, and you were not able to find any weaknesses at all. I will say that Geisen, trying to figure out how to put this in game context, but black dragons have a very high constitution, dexterity, wisdom, and charisma modifier for their saving throws. So you read accounts of spells that use those saving throws not working at all, having little to no effect.
Would he look up the green pools, or is that going too far?
Hold on, let me see if there says anything about their lairs. He does actually. I will say he does find that black dragons' lairs tend to have pools of acidic water that can, that seem to be able to move outward to grasp targets, grasp creatures, and pull them into the acidic waters without the dragon doing anything other than looking and laughing. And these are accounts of survivors.
Gross. I'm so glad I asked.
And you also, kind of in those same stories, you also find stories of a unnatural blackness that seems to spread out from the dragon from time to time, obscuring all view and swallowing all forms of light. So I will say that, is there anything else that you would be looking for? Anybody during that time frame?
I think Icky still remains.
No, Icky was on team
Icky was on team low roll.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Team
Yeah.
low roll. There we go. That's good.
Icky knows he's in a library.
Does he?
Maybe.
I don't know.
He knows he's surrounded by books.
Icky finds a book on alcohol and just is enthralled.
Yeah, Icky found an old book by an old monk about making a beverage he called Dragon's Milk. Turns out it's a beer.
He's like, dragons? Milk? Drunk? I'm sold.
Yes, there's maybe the secret to defeating them lies in this.
I think that might kind of wrap up the research. So it might be a thing where like we get back together around dinner time and we, compare notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is there anything anybody wants to do or any role playing that you want to happen before you go to bed that evening? Because I would say you get back together at like 8 after a full day's research in a couple of different libraries.
Is that thing done, Sean?
Yeah, by now I would say it is.
Okay, I go grab it.
I would say you leave the library, go pick it up, and you would have it in your possession when you met for dinner.
On a whim, since I picked it up from an entirely different source than the library, I asked the guy, off the top of your head, how would you kill a black dragon? No. How would you protect yourself from a black dragon? I have more to add to the book.
The gentleman, what you purchased, looks at you quizzically and says, I would stay here.
No, that's not going to work. Thanks anyway. I'll let you know if there's another chapter.
As you turn to walk out, you don't see him shrug, but you almost hear him shrug. And under his breath, he says, "It's been working for me."
Before turning in, Icky would take a quick lap out to Dwayne, just check on him.
He is exactly where you left him. Seems pretty undisturbed.
Cool.
And then I would say, I know, just in case there's any RP that wants to happen, everybody would meet at like 9. We'll say 8. 8 at the Cambion Cafe to compare notes. So everybody gathers, everybody's sitting around a table, all 7 of you now, with Mini G taking a spot but not taking any food or drink.
So did you guys know that there are several different kinds of dragons, and that it is not just the black dragons and the red dragons that we have seen so far? Oh no, there are more. But Gendrick?
Yeah, Gendrick would definitely share his findings on the fact that the more evil or selfish versions of dragons, their dwelling habits, what they revel in, and would suggest, if we were to barter with a black dragon, it wouldn't be something monetary value. It'd very likely be the expense of a another set of people, or perhaps even a town or something along those lines. So I don't think we can come to the table with a bucket full of gold and get very far with that, let's say.
That tracks with what I learned about Meatbags himself. He seems to have a pattern of following evil leaders, but then ditching them before they completely fall, like as they're on their way down. So maybe convincing him that God dude's gonna die and is on his way down, he'll just step away.
It's worth a shot. I'll do my best to convince him.
Maybe I'll write a song about it.
That would be so good. Interpretive dance.
I'll make a stop in town to the Clawn and get my claws sharpened.
And Grelda pitches in that black dragons appear to be extremely resistant to acid, and have also been able to swim under oceans for days while holding their breath. And then, like, aside, she's gonna like lean over to Icky and go, "I heard you read a book about a beer. Can I hear more about that later?"
Oh yeah, of course, I've got it right here.
You stole a book from the library?
Stole what?
Oh no.
They let me read it for free. I thought I could just take it.
After hearing about the acid, Gendrick will say that it's likely he knows some rune crafting that could be used to make a particular piece of clothing or armor resistant to something like acid. Out of character, I had an artificer infusion since day one called resistant armor, and I forgot to use it. But it allows me to pick a type of damage to be resistant to. So if we have any frontliners or people who are expecting to get get wet with acid, that would be an option to use one of my infusions, which I've neglected to use this entire game.
Yeah.
Don't feel alone.
Grelda
There's a
also
whole
points
bunch
at
of
Icky.
stuff that people haven't used.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So he shares the idea that it's likely he could craft a very specific rune that would make that article of clothing resistant to acid. But I could probably only do it once.
I as a highly proficient monk, I am immune to disease and poison. That's not quite acid, but
No. Poison is a very specific kind of damage. Or it would be poisoning.
Oh, actually, scratch that. I used my last infusion for Tarnin's repeating shot. Never mind.
Oh,
Rewind
yay!
that.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy for it.
Sorry,
My
my last level
mandolin.
up, I updated my infusion limit by 1, but I already used it. Sorry, my bad. I took the ability to do it, but I'm already at my limit, so I'd probably like.
What was that, Sinishi?
My mandolin can give one of us protection from acid for an hour.
Ooh.
That's great. That's an awesome. Yes.
And
More
if we
of that.
start this fight right before sunup, like literally right before sunup, I can do it to 2 of us.
That's clever. Yes. Yes. Very good. Yes, Anishi, do that.
So we just have to time our fight accurately, and
We
I
can
can
do that.
possibly get 2 of us covered.
We can do that. We can definitely do that.
Just so while you're planning, Grelda has advantage on saving throws against poison and also resistance to poison while raging. For what it's worth.
We're better stacked for this than I thought, or than I expected.
Oh wait, I was saying poison. Acid. I don't have resistance, I do have resistance against acid while raging, but I don't have saving throw thing.
Okay. Still helps. All right. So we can protect Geisen and Sinishi, or Sinishi and Icky. I don't know.
Well, mine can go on anybody, so it's not limited to me. I was thinking probably Grelda, but if she's already got protection.
Yeah, that might be good to spread it around. I'll take my chances dodging and getting out of the way. So make sure that some of our other people are covered. I mean, it's only acid, right?
Yeah.
Well, and hopefully this won't even
Punchy
come
bird
up because we'll be able to convince him to step aside.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to convince him to step aside. No problem. Once he sees the 7 of us, he'll know his boss is dead for sure. No problem. I'll make it more convincing by the time we get there.
Okay. So we'll definitely want to try and do our whole teleport thing early, before sunrise. And then we'll do our prep for the room, and then I guess that's pretty much it.
Seems like.
I guess the only thing left is to feast tonight, and then hopefully deal with this dragon tomorrow.
Yeah, unless the whole dawn thing.
Right.
Do we want to get up early and leave like real early before dawn? Get there, but then we're down a spell slot. We'll let Geisen decide.
Dyson might have some tricks to restore those, so we'll see.
Okay.
This session's title, we'll let Geisen decide.
So where do you guys want to stop this session officially and pick up next time? Is it before you go to bed? Or is it after you wake up?
I think before we go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will start the next session with the conversation of when does Geisen want everybody to wake up?
Mhm.
Or
That's
more
when we're going to start the
Geisen,
conversation.
how late
Then
do we get to sleep in tonight?
Yes.
Tarnan,
Dad, when do we have to get up in the morning?
all right. I'm going to do a quick role play then, if we're going to do it.
Yep.
The whole group was sitting there. He looks over at Mini G. Sorry, you weren't a thing like a day ago. And then starts handing out. Well, Sean, describe the books for me. Are they leather bound? Was it
You tell me, what did you ask
Okay.
for?
high quality leather bound embossed books that he's handing out? I thought I wrote this down. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Turner pulls out 5 books, and each of them have names on the lower right-hand corner, and he hands them to you, and you open them up. They are, you recognize it. It's the story of how you all met, the adventures you've been on. They are written in the language of the character. So it's in Orcish for Sinishi. It's in Dwarven for Grelda. You get the idea. So they're written out. And as he's handing them out, he says, Ironbriar didn't seem to think risking your lives meant much, or that facing the danger on the Verisias or the innocence of the Verisian nation meant much. He pauses and says, well, it does matter. It matters to me. It matters to me very much. I'm proud to have been with you on all these endeavors, and I thought it should be memorized. Thought it should be known that a few of us took it upon ourselves to try to do something worthwhile. He's choked up a little bit, and he continues as he casts his eyes down and seems to stare into some inner place. I also want to thank all of you for your part in bringing me to be who I've become. A much lighter person. Then he brings his eyes back up to meet the party's collective gaze, and again, he smiles softly and says, so what's next? And that's where I'll stop. The books are embossed, whatever you want to call it. They got the names on it. If you open up, each one of them has, I haven't gotten them all done. I didn't have time to write it up. I just made this up on the fly here. They all have short messages to each other, and I'll have that for next session. He also says there are 2 other copies. One of them is going to, oh my gosh, I forgot her name. The older lady in Sandpoint.
The old
Bethana.
Okay.
The older lady, Bethana. And another one to the mayor. So that
Deverin?
Yes. So that
Yes, Merrick Deverin.
Mayor Deverin.
He was also kind of the sheriff.
should we fail,
She.
That's what I said.
something will remain of us.
She's the Merrick.
Yeah, something will remain. But it was Mayor Deverin and Sheriff Hemlock, just so you know. But yes, there will be
The
one
last
on their
page
way.
ends with today the adventure continues. That's all I had.
All right, is there anything anybody else would like to do before the entire table turns to Geisen and asks him what time we should wake up in the morning? Then that is where we will leave off for tonight. And we will pick up the next session. Nobody doing anything until Geisen decides what time You wait.
I want to point out that at this point we don't have to, but we could have two Geissens in a trench coat walk up to the dragon